Welcome back, folks.
Hello.
Happy to see you. This is session 2 of RINGWEB, an original campaign, mini campaign, DM'd by myself, different elves, Alquin Gersh, and my lovely players from the Uncommon Trust.
Hello.
Hello. This is the second session. There are 2 previous VODs available, which you may want to watch. They're very good. And the one is a session 0, and we're with character creation, and the other one is session 1, which is our last session, which we got a lot done in that one.
It's true.
Yeah, so to recap, the setting is a civilization that lives on the inside of a ring-shaped structure in a village called the Village of Today, which is made up of webs that coat like a funnel or a cylinder. And it's a nomadic village that's constantly moving towards the light of tomorrow, which is a power source behind a shield that focuses a beam that lights up the village of today. And in the other direction, constantly chasing the village of today, is yesterday, which is a wasteland not bathed in the light of this filtered light of this beam. Our characters are a group of young people and their guardian sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Young people and their guardian who are going into yesterday for a mix of goals, one of which is to try to recover the body of Hana, and who was another special child from the school who disappeared into yesterday 90 cycles ago, so roughly 3 months. Our group coordinated together and made their way, snuck out of. They equipped themselves in the armory of the school with some training equipment, including filter skin suits to help protect against the elements within yesterday. And then they snuck out of the school and the village of today and made it to the boundary field where the beam ends in the terminus crystal. So this group is going into what they know to be dangerous, but not necessarily how. The previous guardian went in pursuit of Hana 90 cycles ago and was also lost. And it was at that point that the current guardian took over. So there's also an interest in finding out what happened to the guardian, the previous guardian, who went out with a group of warriors and only one returned. So yeah, let's scene setting. You all were coming down one of these strands, these sort of architectural tubes that attach to the walls of the of this tube, this ring-shaped tube. You made your way down, and you've made your way into the beginning of what is referred to as the Long Dark, which is the first part of yesterday. And people from the village of today, trained adults with experience, do come out here for various purposes: scavenging, retrievals, the occasional beasts that come too close, the beasts of yesterday that do come too close to the village. But it's definitely a lot more deserted when you're getting out to this point. You can see some of the remains of when the village of today moves along very slowly. It does leave some waste behind. In the area that you're in now is where this anchor strand that you've walked down past the field has ended, and you can see that everything is coated in this dust, this drit, which is radioactive, and it's one of the reasons why you're wearing a mixture of protective equipment, protective against these elements, and also against any dangerous things you might encounter. You're almost guaranteed to encounter out here in the Long Dark. So yeah, there's still some reflected light from the boundary barrier that you just moved through at the end of the last game. Yeah, that's about it.
I have a very good feeling about all of this.
Oh yeah, let's introduce our characters briefly for people.
Okay.
We'll start over here. Nico, you are a strong-willed glaive that acts without consequence.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
a strong-willed glaive who acts without consequence.
And
Also, I'm 10.
You're 10. Yeah, you're 10, and you are one of the reborn, which are these folks that are born by immaculate conception during the ritual of cycle end, which is coming up in 7 cycles. And then you are also with your brother, who is also a reborn, Plethia. Now, you guys are not genetically related, since you're both kind of reincarnations of
That doesn't
previous
matter.
individuals.
My brother.
Exactly, but you do have the same parent, who carried you to both of you to term in this cybernetic womb which is a Numenera object, which Baird Forrest, he donated that in the first episode.
That's totally not weird.
It's not a weird
Welcome
thing.
to RINGWEB.
I mean, those artifacts are rare, and it is unusual for men to be birth parents like that, but it's not unheard of. So it was a rare artifact, but not unique.
I feel
Clearly
no way
he was-
pressured to have babies now.
Clearly, he was very good at it.
And this surly individual that Dave is playing is Naxos Stemwinder. You are
I am a charming Arcus who speaks with a silver tongue.
yeah.
So he's playing Dave.
It's true. I'm playing myself.
Yes.
I'm 15, 16 years old. Bright red hair with blue streaks in it and words. I have different words in it, but now I've rearranged the beads of the letters to say things like "Go Team" and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're showing your pride.
Yeah, no, very much cheerleading are what the letters in my hair say
Yeah,
now.
Naxos, he's pretty fabulous.
Yes, Nexus is delightful.
That's what I'm picking up on here.
Yes.
And then we have our 2 Ariadne members. You are also reborn.
Yes.
Another member of the reborn.
I'm the Nuxos.
The Naxos Stemwinder. And then we have the other 2 members of our team who are Ariadne, which are much more representative of the population of the village of today in general. They're not sort of weird outliers like you reborn folk.
Except both of us
Special.
are weird outliers. Just not like them.
Yeah. So we've got Argon, Silk Sieve.
Yep.
Tell us about yourself, Argon.
Argon Silk Sieve is mostly cyber biological. And what's my sentence? Argon Silk Sieve is a risk-taking delve that fuses flesh and steel. And they are a disaster.
Argon became part sort of cybernetic from an accident which they had where they had contact with the beam that comes out from behind the shield of tomorrow.
It's true. Literally, the shield of
Every
tomorrow.
episode.
Literally.
I just came here to have a good time.
Are you not entertained?
That's why we went to Shield of Tomorrow, was to have a good time.
Yeah, speaks to the silver tongue indeed.
So we heard about what happened to the last Guardian. Tell us about the current Guardian.
The current
What's on their
Guardian
mind?
ascended about 90 days ago, and they're tasked with keeping the children of the school safe and with guarding the wards of the school and watching the weave of the world and the web. And they would in no way allow these children to endanger themselves if there were any other way to have a possibility that maybe they will all live.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try my best, but I'm very new at this,
You're doing great.
and
No,
they're
real-
very them.
But hey, Guardian, we're all still alive right now, so 100%. 100%.
And I suppose at a certain point you won't be.
It's true.
And then we'll just come back.
Then we'll just come back again. Like, I don't, we've done this before. It's not our first, what's the saying? It's not our first, what's that thing you play? The
Seeker's Bola.
Seeker's Bola?
It's not our first Seeker's Bola.
Yeah.
Not your first Bola?
No, not our
Malethia
first
is
Bola.
an aspiring athlete.
Yeah.
Who plays a game named Seeker's Bola, which is based on a training exercise where you pursue a cybernetic creature, a quarry, through a maze that's in some ways designed to simulate some of the experiences of hunting in the wastes of yesterday.
Yes.
So, all right. So
Wanna be the very best.
you've all met up along with some ominous words about possible threads of fate and probability from the Guardian, who is yes.
Sorry, before we go too deep, can we just say early in case some people have to go about the next 2 weeks?
Oh yeah. So this is our second session of a total of 4, well 5 counting the session 0, but we are not playing next Sunday or the Sunday after. Well, we do some other fun life stuff, but we will be coming back. Is it the 14th and the 21st? Are those the
I think so.
Sounds right.
to conclude this
Yes.
this
Days.
little
14th
mini campaign?
and the 21st
14th and the 21st.
Yeah.
of
So
October.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll miss you the next 2 Sundays, but
But Mondays they'll be able to.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Starting tomorrow, we're playing in Poisel's Shadowrun game on a saving throw.
Yes. 7 p.m. PST. Watch me run a group of runners, disaster runners, through some shadows of Los Angeles.
It'll be
You're gonna run through some
Yeah, I know,
shadows.
you
You're gonna
can't-
run through some shadows, is what you're telling me.
You can't give away too
Maybe.
much.
So we got Alcuin playing
I'm also
Sam
playing.
Liv and Ash, as well as Amy Vorpal will be joining us. And we're going to be running for 3-part series, so come check it out. Monday nights, 7 throw shows.
It's
It
gonna be
will all go
good.
very well. And
So
good
we-
choices will be made.
All right.
It'll be lovely.
It will be.
Let's go.
So you can, yeah,
Lovely.
you can watch that, and then the week so it'll be the last show is on the 8th, and then the next Sunday we'll be back here. So
Hey, it's like a patch. It's like gum. We got to pace
Yeah.
out your
You-
uncommon
you-
trust dosage.
We will not leave you fiending for uncommon trust goodness. We'll always try to have something for you to watch.
mhm.
Heaven forbid, right?
Yeah.
And
So-
maybe we have things coming up after that.
I mean, there might be stuff. We might be doing things that you never know. Yeah.
will be. I'd also like to thank QueueTimes for having us here.
Yes.
Lovely channel, lovely people. I'd like to thank Monty Cook Games and all the folks from there for their gracious support. So yeah, it's time for some action.
New.
Let's say we
let's
just delve in.
Yeah, let's just delve in.
You go first. But we go together.
Yeah, yeah, we go together.
We
So,
go together.
Argon, you are. We established a kind of walking order,
Mhm.
and
I
you
do actually go first.
you do actually. You are actually in the lead. And what you're in your second? Okay. And then who's our rear guard? Prolethea? All right. You're probably second to last.
I'm gonna be in front of Palethia.
Okay.
I'm gonna protect.
And there you are, safely in the middle next to
I
Stemwire.
gotta use
I
this.
really enjoy being safely in the middle because it's like I feel like I'm in charge, but I am deeply concerned about you though. So every once I keep just like making sure you're still behind me, like every once in a while. Like
Still
this.
good.
Yeah.
Still good.
Like she's young,
Yeah.
very tough, just young.
I matter too.
So there is some waste and leftover structures, some human-made structures at the bottom of this anchor strand. It's almost like you're coming down the tether of something that was, this tether was connected up to the web and the greater part of the village itself, but now you're coming back to where it connects to. There's no difference between walls and floor here in this world. It all just extends around like a tube. So when I describe things in it that are different on a different part of the wall floor relative to you, I'll just use like clock directions,
Okay.
So assume that you are all at like maybe like you're at 6 o'clock.
But gravitationally, we can make our way around the entire thing.
You can,
too, right?
You can. Although you have heard that the gravity, part of the localized gravity that's on the strands and in the village of today is generated by the beam and by the strands themselves. And you've heard that when you get out into yesterday, that it's not always consistent. There are pockets of unusual behavior of space and time.
Inconsistent gravity. Well, that doesn't
Inconsistent
sound like something that's going to come up at all.
No, that is just merely fluff.
No.
That's what the hook's for.
Right. No, we'll be able
Oh
to
yeah,
tell
your
her.
Delver's hook.
Yeah, the delve hook.
Delve hook.
This is
Yeah.
gonna be great.
Story.
Again. Now,
Story.
I already had a good feeling about this. Now I have a very good feeling about this. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I have a rope. You want to like tie together, or is that a bad idea?
That's a bad idea.
I was
like
tying
tie us together?
to Lethe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't
Okay.
you, aren't you all climby? You can't
I'm
be towing
super
him and like
climby.
it's not.
I'll undo it.
That's a perfect idea. I think you should do that. We should do
Okay.
that.
But I want to be tied to someone.
All right. There's something else. You gotta do that in your own
So
personal time.
you make your way to the base of this anchor strand where it connects with the ground, and you, Argon, you have some experience with how these strands are, moved, because people will periodically come out and basically uncouple them to then reattach them to another point, and it leaves behind residue and deposits.
Yeah.
So you can see this one is it's ripe for disconnecting, and it's not something you'd be able to do on your own. And also, it's something that when it is done, it sends out a signal that it's kind of often what your family would do would be to wait until the thing has been officially moved, but then sweep in before another crew is sent to clean up.
Yeah.
And the exposed wound of where the cable is disconnected is somehow that's where the special substance grows. But it only grows, at a certain point once the light of tomorrow is moved far enough away. So you see this ripe anchor strand that's ready for disconnection and moving, and you really wish that there was something to harvest here. But maybe when you go in deeper, you'll find some other stuff.
Okay. I'll
Because-
keep my eyes open while we're moving, and also just being on the lookout. It's the first time I've been out here without a greater supervision, but
Yeah. So you remember part of the way you got here was by taking a path that you recognized because you've been out into yesterday before, but you noticed that it looks like the path has changed. Like there's somehow the environment has changed around it, and at this point you don't recognize the path.
it's okay. Everything.
Yeah. So which way, buddy?
Are you making this face?
No.
No one could see it. They're at the front.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they maybe like stopped and did this.
I'm looking around. I'm, like,
They look back and go,
think in the middle of the cave.
So I'm gonna look around, try to get my bearings. Maybe look up, like clockwise, counterclockwise. Be like, is the path just off?
The rest of you knows that Argon has slowed down a little bit.
No, I'm pretty sure it's this way. And should I make a tracking roll?
You can, yeah.
Because I have navigation.
All right, that's an asset for it. So let's say it's because things have changed so much. I'm actually going to say that this is a challenge, normally a challenging task, difficulty 5.
Okay.
But your navigation will reduce that to a 4. You can spend effort if you'd like.
Is this a task involving chance?
No.
No, there are not multiple choices for me to choose between.
I mean, there are infinite choices.
Infinite choices. Okay, too much
Yeah.
for there. Yeah, let's spend some effort because I don't want to screw this up. So I'll spend 2 of my intellect pool because I have an intellect edge of 1.
Okay, so that gives you 1 level of effort and reduces it down to being a difficulty 3 task.
Okay. So first roll.
You gonna get a 20?
We'll
I believe
see.
you.
I got.
They had the
I
first-
got-
They had
Don't put
First
that. Don't even talk about numbers till after the
Okay,
roll is made.
okay, all right. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Just pick up a different die after that. Just-
Yeah, yeah.
It's been sullied now.
That's a 5.
Aquaman, why'd you have to do this?
Yeah, that's not what you needed.
That was not what I needed.
Alvin wants to go poorly.
Yeah. You needed a 9.
I do need a 9.
So-
This is important. I'm gonna spend one of these nice little XP I got here
For a reroll?
for a reroll.
Ooh, just says that. That's true.
All
It's
right.
big.
Yeah, we gotta get home eventually. So yes,
Yeah.
please.
This is important. This is important. That is a natural 20.
I knew you had it in you. I knew you had it in you.
Oh my goodness.
Halfling luck.
True.
Stays with me.
It's true.
Yes.
Always.
It's not the die. It's not the die. It's the roller, right? Yeah.
Okay, so
Natural 20s. Do you get your effort back?
you do.
Nice.
That effort is refunded to you. So you get those 2 points. You get the 2 points right back into your pools if you didn't spend them.
Yes.
Thank you for remembering that. I would have forgotten otherwise.
Yeah. And so here's that XP. I don't get to keep that, I don't think.
All right. So,
I'm sure you've learned a lot, though.
But do I get? That means I get like a major effect too.
yeah. What I'm going to say is you've learned something about the pattern of how yesterday moves
Mhm.
and also what changes happen in this area. So you are you at that point you basically reassemble, you see how the path has been broken up and shifted. And it's interesting. It seems like you would think that it would just change by the fact that the village of today, as it moves away, sort of spirals.
Mhm.
But the area that you look out, you see the way the path has been broken up and things have changed. And it looks like some of it has moved in the opposite direction. Today moves in a counterclockwise as it spins.
But,
and you notice some
but the world
sections.
moves in Wintershins.
Well, only segments of it. Yeah, Widdershins. Thank you. Excellent.
He needs that XP back for saying they need that XP back for Widdershins.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've noticed that it's almost like
the claw.
like roulette wheels, but they're moving in opposite directions.
Mhm.
So you can see it's staggered. You can see there's some places where it's moved Widdershins and some place where it's moved normally. So
Okay.
Deicil.
yes, thank you. And those are actually the terms that people use in this world
Mhm.
for those kinds of movement.
Deus and Widdershins. Makes sense. They don't know what a clock is.
No, they're clocks,
Right.
but the clocks
They're
are
all
cycles.
Cycle.
Well, the clocks are based on colors because they're based on the colors of the beam.
So rainbows everywhere. I love
It's true.
it.
Yeah, rainbow clocks.
So
I mean, he just made a cannon.
yeah.
Oh, I see people in the chat were asking what the premise of this, and we got people like Minnie Marker and Emma Lindhagen. Thank you for filling in,
Yes.
for helping out in that. It's great to have folks helping recap. I know the world is kind of weird, so people jumping in the middle of it might not know what's going on. I really appreciate those of you who speak up and help other people enjoy this.
It's like Doctor Who crossed with aliens. Horrible stuff's gonna happen any second now.
Oh my god.
I love all those things.
Awesome.
Horribly wonderful
No, we're good.
things.
We're
That's
good.
amazing. I would
Okay.
love to see that.
I did talk about in the session 0 some of the inspirations for this, and there are things that they're like Naushka of the Valley of the Wind, Dune, the work of Tsutomu Nihei, like Bramu, Knights of Sidonia. So there are other resources. As references to those things come up, maybe we'll talk about it. But yeah, so imagine some. It's a very weird post-human, post-apocalyptic, in a way, kind of limited setting. But there are so many mysteries you don't know, and so many dangers that are unexplored while still being omnipresent.
So now I have an idea of where we need to go, and
Yeah.
I can lead us through in understanding that this path is a little broken up. But
Mm-hmm.
so I stop, I look around. Okay. This way.
Yeah.
I officially marked you as a friend last time, right?
Yes, I have your friend asset.
You. It was the two of you that I officially marked as friends, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For all of the
Moving
social
like
roles.
down the
Right.
table.
Right.
Yesterday.
Slowly but surely.
One day I'll be a friend.
Yeah.
So
One day.
I do start chatting with Pralethea along the way, like, so what's this Naxos Bolas the kids are on about?
Is that what you call it?
I do.
All right. So
I've seen them.
there would have been Guardian, as you were observing the children and saw Argon's decision, you saw basically it seemed like there were so many complicated threads and so many possibilities, and so many of them led to other sort of dangers and such. But you weren't sure whether to interact or not. I mean, you've had visions of from the data sphere of some of these other things. But then when Argon makes that decision, you see that a lot of the other threads, like that one, sort of glows. Like it looks like a very good decision was made, and a lot of potential events were avoided by their insight they experienced. So as you follow along this path, the waste and sort of detritus that was left behind, stuff that falls through the bottom layer of the web to the floor. Everything is the floor. You see that, and as you proceed, a wind begins to pick up, which is very unusual. You don't have any sort of wind in the village of today. But a wind picks up, and it's blowing this. Oh, I want to emphasize when you all were communicating in role-playing before, it's all very muffled because you're wearing these sort of masks and goggles, or in the case of the two of you who are wearing full filter skins, those are almost, I mean, they have like full hoods and all that.
Mr. Wayne.
It's mine's like a Goodwill version.
Yeah.
What's that?
Mine's just the Goodwill version of that.
I mean, yours, both you and Argon have ones that are, they're not actual one-piece filter skins, but from their experience and your Seeker's Bola experience, you've been able, and you've all had some training about how to use equipment like this in school.
Even though I have the mask on, am I still able to have my monocle in place under the mask? Because looks important.
You could just wedge it into one of the eye holes.
Yeah, like, you mean, but on the inside though, like.
Yeah.
Okay, right, great.
Yeah, you don't want that falling out.
No,
on the
no,
outside.
totally no. I had to go without the hat. I'm not leaving
Yeah.
the hat and the monocle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the, all of the characters
I'm grateful
have
for that, not
these
being
things
there.
called ciphers, which exist in the system, and they're one-use items that represent relics of previous civilizations. They're a little different in this setting, but and you'll find out more about that as we go on. That's just great.
So, because I was not being a crime child, we didn't necessarily establish what equipment I had vis-a-vis the Drit and such. I don't know what we want to do mechanically, but I figure I have a filter ward.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I think it's more cool from a narrative perspective, even though you might not necessarily have a power mechanically like that on your sheet yet.
I have ward.
You have ward? Okay. So let's say there's a version of ward that you use that basically acts like a... we'll say it's not as protective as a full-on filter skin. We'll say it would give you... Yeah. Similar to the stuff that's been cobbled together for these two.
And it's like bug zapper, where it lights up when a bug makes contact.
Yep.
So when there's Drit along anywhere, the silvery web on me just kind of lights up.
Like
so
sparkles.
I'm a little glittery.
You're a little sparkly.
Little web glitters. Whenever it's particularly dirty.
Jordan says they all have Sephiroths?
They
True.
don't not have Cypher.
It's the Sephiroth system.
It's true.
I'd play that.
And so, in order-wise, you are second in line?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
shield in front of danger.
In the Sephiroth system, the more powerful you get, the longer your sword gets.
And your hair.
Oh yeah.
True, right. Yeah.
So wait, is there a point that you could potentially be more hair and sword than anything else?
More hair and sword than man.
You're just cousin it.
A Bishonen cousin it.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, this wind picks up, and it's... I don't know. At this point, I think if any of you would start to feel fear or unease about the unknown, now is probably when it's really starting to kick in.
I don't think I have that stat.
May we make a composure roll?
So
I'd like to constantly.
Yeah,
check
why
around
not?
behind
Why
us.
not?
What difficulty do you want for
Yeah.
a composure roll?
Let's see.
I always like
This
to know
is
if I'm...
Intellect task,
Mhm.
and I'm going to say it's demanding.
So that's a...
What
four?
if
That's a
you
3.
3.
what if you've been in yesterday before?
I would let you reduce it by 1 step.
Okay.
Okay.
So that applies to Argon, and it applies to Nico.
I'm like,
And,
what's
and this
Does
guy who
sensing-
saved Nico.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does,
All right.
does sensing danger apply here?
I mean, it's kind of all danger.
Oh, it is all danger.
I sense
It's not
everything.
whether there's danger, it's how you feel about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's
good.
that noise? Because I can't feel the wind. But
Yeah.
you guys,
See it.
I got a 14. I don't know.
That sounds like
Yep.
that you
Okay.
succeeded.
That's fine.
Okay.
So this low moan.
We did,
Nico?
13.
You're good.
you.
I'm the only one who failed. This is perfect.
like, what's.
Well, you probably have a lot of like pressure.
What even-
Yep.
This is how the last guardian
Exactly.
was
I've never
lost.
gone into the dark before. That's not my thing. I can't see the ends of the threads.
Good thing you're
And
socially awkward, so we
just
can't tell if you're scared.
All of
You're slightly less socially awkward, thanks to me, though. Yes.
all of the weaving motions that I make are just getting sharper and more frantic and jittery.
I'm like a
Because I'm trying
Argon.
to find threads that I
Well,
can't see.
Naxos, you know what it's like to feel a moment of sort of you can tell that they're perturbed.
I just sort of like kind of like ease up slowly, and I'm all like, are you okay? Because we're good. No, we're good. Relax. No, we're good.
Well, they're
We're
right in
good.
front of you.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I was at the back of the party, so I'm like, I sort of like.
No, you're in the middle.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess they
you're
are right in front
behind
of me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of like lean over. I'm like, Guardian, no, we're good. Everything's good. It's fine. Look, they know where they're going. Argon's got it. We're fine. We're good.
That kind of arrogance is the quickest way for all of us to die. This is not fine. None of this is fine. It
It's
just has
not-
to happen.
It's not arrogance. It's faith in my friends. Although I do have question, Argon. That like moaning, roaring noise that's coming from everywhere. Like, what is that about? It's not a. I don't.
It's the darkness. The darkness, it speaks to us. It calls from yesterday. You get used to it.
Was he this weird in school? Were
That-
they that weird in school?
They were just answering your question.
Because I'm partly cybernetic, one of my eyes is cybernetic.
Mhm.
Could it light up? Like as we go into the dark?
I think any question that starts with "because I'm partly
Cybernetic.
cybernetic"
It's true.
is gonna go real
Here's
fun.
the thing: the origin, and I'll give you some information out of this. This can also be rolling into your 20 that you had. It seems like the cybernetics and way that you were transformed was reflective of a certain sort of magic, which was the type related to tomorrow.
Tomorrow magic.
Yeah. Whereas
You're going farther.
you're going further and further from it.
Oh.
So in a way, your eye is struggling to see even more.
But in a non-linear, wibbly-wobbly way, we're getting closer to it, just the other way.
Yeah.
So we'll know we're almost there when your eye kicks in. We'll be fine. It's good.
All right, cool.
Your eyeballs are
Everything's
canary
fine.
in the
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
All right,
then
so-
we're gonna die in this coal mine.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
We gotta keep going. We can't, like, the further out we go, the further back we have to go. And we only got a couple cycles.
You're in the front, so.
Yeah, lead on.
All right.
Yeah, you're the one who stopped.
We believe in you.
All right then.
Just
It won't be hard to
bandwagon that. It's not our
You okay?
fault, it's yours.
So you proceed further along this path, and it's leading you from your starting sort of 6 o'clock position up more towards a sort of 9 o'clock position, which to you is always bottom. But
Now the 9 o'clock becomes the 6 o'clock.
yeah,
Right.
I just use it for things relative to
Yeah.
you,
Right.
but to show how you're
Move
moving.
9 words.
Mm-hmm. 9 words.
We've gone a little day or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. East and west would be things like 9 words or
9 words and 3 words.
but everything's relative. So,
Right.
all right. So you proceed further. The waste and leftovers seem to be petering out. Like there are less of the human constructions that are left over. You stop. It's like the pieces become smaller. You know, there's still trash and.
Is there anything that we passed that might be useful for moving forward, if within the wreckage or within the remnants?
There may have been, but you know that it's very dangerous to pick through that stuff because it's all coated in this radioactive dirt or drit.
And normally we just take that right back to get it cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, if you found anything like big and spectacular, it would be worth cleaning it off.
Yeah,
but
I can do something about that.
Yeah, at this point in general, all of you are starting to get your suits are starting to get coated with this dull gray brown drit.
Is that
Except for you, where it is just kind of phasing off of you.
But I also have a magic that lets me clean a small area, and I would define most of these as that.
Okay.
So it's not even really... There's nothing maternal about, like, cleaning up the kids. It's just like
it's your job
that I'm making. And occasionally just circling back to the back of the line and then back up.
best? Oh, great, thanks.
I feel super safe.
So, you notice, Argon, that among the what little waste is left, and the smaller and smaller pieces, you begin to see patterns emerging.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Prolethea, since you have the clever descriptor.
Yeah.
And Argon, since you're the one looking primarily and with the most experience, and also the Guardian, who, I mean, you're pretty much a very skilled pattern recognition machine. I think I'll have all of you make intellect tasks. If you have anything that you think you would that would modify it related to identifying patterns and things.
Perception? Or I'm either perception. I don't think that I'm salvaging Numenera here.
No.
I have identifying as far as Numenera and sort of mystical and magical stuff.
Yeah, I'll let you have, that'll be definitely an asset for it.
What's the difficulty on the roll?
This is going to be challenging. It starts at 5 before modifiers.
I will spend some effort.
Yeah.
I got it back before.
Yeah.
Which brings that down to 4. Perception, you said, doesn't count.
Not in this case.
So that's 5 down to 4 down to 3.
Salvaging Numenera doesn't count. Do I have any bonus for my...
Do you have something for understanding Numenera?
I have
that's me.
inability.
Okay.
Like understanding Numenera as a delve.
Okay, so you'll actually have one hindrance
Okay.
from that.
So it's back to 5.
Yep.
Okay.
The two counteract each other in that case.
Ooh, nice.
Nope.
Solid 2.
Solid
How'd you do?
2.
And what about you?
Prolethea?
How'd you do, Prolethea?
Just waiting for the suspense.
Roll
That's a 1.
Oh, that-
No, it's,
You shouldn't roll.
Yeah,
You shouldn't roll.
I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, let's do it again.
I was hoping it would be better than that 12.
All right, so you're the one who passes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, it's a 15 roll.
Nah.
No, but
Unless you
Is
have
it difficulty 5, you said?
No, he's...
Did you Did you spend effort?
What's
No,
I
I
don't know what his skills are.
Oh yeah, I let you roll because you had the clever thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll count that. It's a success.
All right.
Sick.
Yeah.
That works out.
Were you the only one to succeed?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
looks like it.
Way in the back.
Yeah.
So
Natural 2.
I see your
natural
face.
2. Good job. So Prolethea, you see you're in the back, and you see that you slowed down a bit, and the Guardian and Argon seem to be kind of trying to look at something, trying to kind of figure it out, but they can't really. And then you put it together, and you see that there's a pattern of interlocking rings, and it seems like the waste and dust on the surfaces is coalescing into these repeating interlocking ring pattern, and the rings change sizes. So there's something You don't know if it's you don't know if it could be forces of gravity fluctuating, but it's almost kind of like a sand painting or something,
Like
you know,
iron
where
fillings and magnets.
exactly, like the
Says magnetism.
iron filings and magnets.
Magnets, how do they work?
How do they work?
Fucking miracles, man.
Glad someone backed me on that, yes.
Yes. We are a juggalo-friendly.
Zone of safety. Zone of safety.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
So this is like
Yeah, you see a pattern emerging. It's weird too, and it looks like when they're creating a Seeker's Bola court, there are certain patterns where they use randomness to try to determine where the smaller anchor strands are going to exist in this maze that's made for the game. And it reminds you of that. It looks like when people are planning to make a Seeker's Bola field.
Oh, this game makes sense for me. This is what I've been training for this whole time. And so, can you describe, after you described the whole magnetic thing, I forgot the first part. Can you describe that again?
They look like whatever waste and dust, and that is on the ground, is it seems like it's coalescing into rings of powder and trash, and the rings seem to interlock, and there are clusters in various places.
So these are like the safe path, basically.
Well, it looks almost like it's.
Do you say that out loud?
Hmm?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah. I'll say that. I was asking the question.
So yeah.
How do we know
well,
if it's safe or not?
You start verbalizing what you're seeing, and you're kind of thinking aloud.
Okay.
And
so I'm just gonna I've seen this before in the arena. Guardian, I'm sure you've watched plenty of these games before.
No.
Do you remember? Okay. So then this doesn't mean anything.
You know that those patterns are determined using sacred rituals, at least when you're doing it for Seeker's Bola. They're rituals that are supposed to be about chance and fairness, so that the other people won't know the layout of the maze before it's created.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like this looks to you like a sketch, but it's on a scale that's much bigger than it would be for a Seeker's Bola game.
Yeah.
It's on like as if it was kind of as if they were planning for the village of today.
Yeah. So like armies, basically. Through.
Well, no, of the actual structural.
Oh, for the
stuff.
whole.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah. I just want to, I guess, just show them the way.
And it's interesting because you know that ritual it's performed by by humans, and it almost seems like maybe this is the origin of it. But you wonder if humans use these rituals and stuff to create this layout, this pre-planning. What entity is behind this? It seems like it's guided by an omniscient, unseen force.
So
Well, that sounds super safe.
Yeah.
Dope.
Lily, what do you see?
Everything that he just said.
Oh.
Hauntingly, you know that the Seeker's Bola planning, then that part of it where they randomize it is referred to as the Word of God.
Oh, that's yeah.
It's referred to as the Word of God?
The Word of God, yeah.
Sounds pretty intense. So I'd like to explain everything. It was very long.
Yeah, I know.
Explain
Sorry.
everything that you just said to me to them as well. I'd like to relay that information to them.
I know shit is weird.
Shit is weird. I can see it.
Yeah.
And it's not sitting right with me.
You're very insightful.
I know, it's super descriptive.
Lafayette.
Huh.
I mean, previous Proletheas, there was one very famous one who was a great seer. So
I'm sure the Guardian was in no way referring to that.
echoes of that.
Levy, have you ever seen a word of God this big?
No, not at all. It's like at least not even a 16th of the size of this.
And it doesn't make sense to you because, no one's going to play a game here. It sucks here. Why would you make a big game and then play it here?
But we need
This is lame.
but the path goes through here, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, and there are ways to wind to wind your way through it. Do you want to actively?
I'm gonna. Nico, you want to come with me? I guess we're tied together.
Or do you want to try to actively avoid it, or take a or maybe collaborate with Argon in finding a safe path that takes you closer to one of the
Yeah,
rings
that's
to
what-
investigate?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I have navigation, you have this.
And I have magic sense.
Yeah, it could be
Mm-hmm.
all the assets.
Our powers combined.
By our powers combined.
And I've got climbing.
Yes, thick.
I've got words. I'll talk to the rings.
Bard hard.
It's true.
All right.
There's a
All right.
ring.
So after about 45 minutes or so of travel, you make your way close enough to it, and at this point you're right on top of a lot of the area that you saw, and you're glad that you were able to suss that stuff out when you saw it from a distance. There's still some dim light, and you have your own light sources as well. But once you're this close to one of the rings, it's almost like you're so close up on it that you can't see the forest for the tree. You know, not that forests exist in this world. Which is why is Baird Forest named Baird Forest? Forest is an unusual word.
All
Well,
words
there's
are
an
made up.
ancient documentary that of a great hero named Forrest who traveled in ancient land.
No, minus 50 DKP.
Remember he ran great distances.
Didn't know what the fuck to do. Yeah.
All right, so you after 45 minutes of travel, you make your way closer to this ring, to one of these rings, and you can see the way that it's ordered. It looks like the pattern. You can see there are tiny little creatures. They look kind of like, I guess the analog from our world would be something kind of like a trilobite or a pill bug, like a segmented small insect. And you still see a few little tiny ones, and you can see that they're pushing dust into towards the edge of the circle. But the few that are left, they don't seem to be interacting with each other. They look kind of confused and lost, but they are still trying to kind of push dust into this ridge. And now that you're close to it, you can see that it's raised up about this high on the ground.
I grab my sling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
They're about this big. These
They're not a
insects.
threat. They're not a threat to us, I don't think.
I think he's scared of them.
They're just like sculpture bugs.
Well, you've also
True.
heard, Argon, that they're part of the life cycle. The life cycle, the death cycle.
They manipulate the yesterday. They move things around.
do they bite?
I don't know.
They have mandibles.
They just they move things. They don't interact. I've never
How
played with
about we don't pick fights with bugs today?
Hopefully bugs won't pick
Or
fights with
cycle.
us, but okay. Cool.
Very
Cool.
tiny.
Right.
Yeah. So as you approach this ring of
They're kind of cool and structured.
junk and dust, you see that the little creatures start to skitter away
Oh, okay.
off into the darkness
See, they're
once you get
gone
close
now.
to them. All right.
Can I sense any danger around? I know danger is all around.
Now, do you both have danger sense,
I
or is it
do,
just
yeah.
you?
I don't know. I know I have.
sense.
The two of us.
Oh,
So
yeah,
three of you have sense danger.
Yes, we're very Spider-Man like.
Okay.
Spidey
That's
sense.
Spider
magical
people.
Danger.
So there's a moment as the little creatures skitter away. You're like, oh, that was cute. That's not that
That
harmful.
means they
And
are
then
trained to be afraid of large
and then you
things.
you see them disappear from view, and all of you just the three of you who have danger sense start to get a bad feeling,
I don't think they were running from us.
and then you all start to hear skittering, but it sounds like a wave, like splashing water.
Sick. You guys want to get into it like a circle, 360 degree security?
I get in the middle of the circle.
Yes.
I'm already in a fighting stance.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, you said the bugs weren't
We're
dangerous.
still tied together.
Why are you
Just
guys?
enough.
Wait, why are you forming up?
You're
Like-
physically tied together with a rope.
With a rope.
Yeah, we've been physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on like a hook.
I thought you were referring figuratively, but
No,
literally.
they literally-
All right.
No, we
Yes.
literally
figured
have
we
a
tied
rope.
everyone up.
All right.
Where's the sound coming from?
Yesterday.
Yep.
The darkness.
I just infer that it's from that direction and get in front of the group.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pull out the hook, I guess, and
Is the skittering getting closer to us?
is it coming at us?
Sick. Got our stances.
Excuse me. Is that normal? I don't.
Just
No one else seems to be concerned here.
Just hold the line.
And sees everyone with weapons and like boards up and
All right.
no one seems to be
I'm like, I was weird for drawing my slang, and now you guys are all forming
Okay.
up.
In the dim light beyond your own bright light sources, you see it doesn't even look like individual creatures. It just looks like a gray wave.
How
And
big is
it's
Run!
and
Yes,
the swarm is filling up. It looks and it behaves like it's a single entity.
sick?
And you can see parts of it curl off and extend into sort of pseudopods, but it's erupting and crashing and reforming and recoalescing, and it is barreling towards you. And it looks like it's this. Before I said something was like multiple Seekers Bola fields in size. This is like that. I mean, it's
The wave is.
the wave is hundreds of. Looks like it's hundreds of
Is there
feet
any choke
across.
points?
Huh?
Are there any choke points?
Places where it's more focused to a point. Yeah, the one that's coming towards your group.
So if we move 12 words, we would maybe be able to be over the swarm.
Potentially.
Assuming it doesn't go up the wall after us.
So
Well,
Yeah.
here it will
Well-
certainly get us. Let's move.
Yeah.
the path.
Yeah, no, but the path is all around us.
Sick.
Let's go.
All right.
Prolethea, based on your estimate of their speed,
Yeah.
they should be. They'll make contact with where you are right now in less than a minute.
Let's run.
Yeah. We should probably run. Argon, do you know the path?
I'm just running.
I'm gonna.
I've been running.
But,
Nico and I are gonna be near the back of where the
Yes.
swarm
And,
is
yeah,
coming towards us
I'm
as we're running.
angled, interposed
Okay.
between.
If that's okay.
You're ready to tank.
I am running and I'm looking for high ground,
Okay.
like
But
something
we're
to
all
climb.
running. We're running.
But I'm,
Okay.
I'm as we're going 1 of 9 words further. I'm looking for something that is high ground,
Okay.
because if we can get above the wave, we might have a little bit more
All
safety.
right. So, yeah, make that check, and since you're probably helping, right,
Yeah.
Prolethea?
Yeah.
So you have an asset from Prolethea, and you can make
And I
it.
have perceptions count on this.
I need to read the description of what perception is as a skill, so I know better how to use it. Because I feel like you try to use it, I'm
So-
always saying no, and I feel bad.
So I'll let you know what my skills are, if any of them apply. I have salvaging Numenera. I have
I'm
escape-
really more interested in what the description of perception is but they don't really describe
I
skills
think
that much.
perception tends to be a thing that's treated fairly intuitively.
Yeah.
And if it's not described, I think we can safely assume it's like
Okay.
the generic perception skill.
In this
of
case,
D&D.
yes, I will let you use it as an asset. So
Okay.
you have an asset from perception and an asset from Prolethea helping you.
Okay. So that brings it down to just should I just add 6 to my roll and you can
No. This is okay. This is a difficult task. It starts at 4.
Okay, so I'm bringing it down to 2.
You're bringing it down to 2, which is really good.
And is it intellect?
Intellect, yeah.
I'm just gonna spend for effort on this as well.
Jordan's like, oh shit, Iron Wind. The Iron Wind is a thing that's
Yeah.
in the main Numenera game itself, and it's basically like a cloud of nanotechnology that just fucking
Alright,
transforms
So I
everything
brought
in
this
its
down.
path.
I brought
Great.
this down to. I brought this down to
Great,
difficulty
fine.
1 with
Yes.
effort.
It's fine.
You brought it down to 1?
Yeah, with effort.
Okay.
So, and that's
Which
good
is an
because I rolled a
excellent
4.
Yep. That was a deep
Effort well
necessary
spent. Yeah.
Woo.
I mean, you wouldn't have made it
No,
without that
I would
effort.
not. I would not have made it without that effort.
Okay. So yeah, it's difficult. You can see that they're you're wary of disrupting some of these other circles, but you do see some leftover, like it looks like a cluster of synth stone, something that was perhaps too difficult to move, and that maybe as today moved past it, they may have kind of built the web around it.
Yeah.
But it's something that's jutting out roughly the size of a building. But it's like it looks like a pile of kind of like a broken concrete and rebar, but it's sort of the world's equivalent of that, synth stone and
Ferrocrete. And
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, Veracrete. Yeah. There's a pile of that, but it looks like, and there's a flat area on top of it. Well, not totally flat, but enough of an angle where that you could get up to safety, and you would be a good 30, 40 feet above ground level, but it does look difficult to climb.
Someone.
Meanwhile,
I'm just following them as they run.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lead us that way and be like, "Hey, let's get this."
Climb.
Yeah.
What? I'm just excited to climb.
all right. Now you think you see this and you're like, I can get up this easily.
Yeah. No problems.
All right. So do you want to run off ahead? Do you want to just pour on the speed and get there first and
Are you
start
gonna
climbing?
unhook?
Are we unhooking?
I mean, is that helpful to the group for me to run off ahead, or is that just
How-
me
how
No,
abandoning the
but
group?
is it Nico?
How long is the rope between you two?
No, but
50 feet?
Yeah.
Let's say 50 feet.
Up to
50 feet's a good measurement. In these games, there's immediate
Yeah.
range, there's up to 10 feet, there's short range, there's up to 50 feet, and so on and so on. So 50 feet is a good rope range.
And I imagine they're hooked together, not like they're tied around our waist, but like almost like carabiner style.
Definitely.
Where it's like hooked into our suits.
Yeah.
we've done this quite a few times.
Yeah, your filter skin has hooks and stuff on it to attach things,
Yeah.
and you're wearing a harness belt as part of your improvised equipment.
Yeah.
And so you're connected, and you can unclip those things quite easily.
Yeah. And also
Now if you're both running, that means that you can get up to 50 feet ahead of Prolethea. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to climb as well because I can use my delve hook to help climb, and then I can use that to help pull people up.
Okay. So I'm going to say that Nico gets there first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
They're much faster than I am.
yeah, and then you and Prolethea will probably get there next. But then the rest of you all
The
have
other two.
none of you have any sort of inabilities when it comes to movement or any of that sort of stuff, right? So the rest of you should be able to kind of cluster and stay together. All right, so you make it there. So this is a this is a difficult climb, a difficult task. It's a mic. This is speed check. Yeah,
If you parkour.
parkour.
It's like might is like athletics checks. it's
Yeah,
like
and if you
acrobatics
shout
kind of
parkour
thing.
before you do it,
right, then
or
it's parkour.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Leroy
So
Jenkins.
if you shout parkour, it's a speed check. Otherwise, it's a mic check.
Yeah.
Parkour.
I
Yes.
got a natural 20 for my climb check.
Okay. Hold on to that.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna get to do something flash, mate.
I'm just gonna note up the wall.
So I've got trained in climbing. Would I also be
That
able
reduces it by a step.
Would I also be able to use my rope as an asset, even though it is attached back? No. Okay.
No, that'll be an asset for anybody who follows, as long as you're good and
Alright.
anchored
Oh,
at the
okay.
top.
Sick. Little 10-year-old helping carry people up.
I got a 6. So.
Well, it was difficult.
It was
so
difficult, and you
we'll
reduced it
just-
by 1 with your training,
That makes
Uh-huh.
so you needed a
That's-
9.
yeah.
So I'm gonna spend XP.
Yeah.
To read.
The other thing too to remember is when you can spend effort on rolls as well.
Oh.
Which would have brought it down to a 6.
Now you
Yeah.
can't say I want to spend
Yeah.
effort after you failed.
Yeah.
I
You know
I
what?
don't- I don't know that I
She
want to
didn't
spend
know,
effort
though.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay, you'd
it's
rather-
also health pool, so
You'd rather spend the reroll?
Yeah.
Well, it comes from the speed pool.
once might is down,
Yeah,
guess
you're
what we're
right.
on to.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
So it's a difficult.
So you're going to do a reroll by spending
XP.
an
Yeah,
XP.
I need to find out whether the assets are going to be coming down.
I got a 13.
There you go.
All right,
Okay.
there you go.
All right. So yeah, Nico, you start scrambling your way up, and you're a little overconfident, but then you manage to correct and catch yourself. Your gloved
I
hand.
feel like it was on purpose. Like
He's
a
so
cat.
heavy, though. Yeah.
Your gloved hand, you lose your purchase on one particularly dusty part of the structure, but then you start to fall and you catch yourself by compressing your legs in a place, and then you just spring up and get right back into it. You climb your way to the top. There's a piece of broken web strand jutting out from some of the synth stone,
Wrap the.
and you can anchor your part of the rope around that if you'd like.
Okay.
So, Prolethea, you're the next to arrive.
Mhm.
I'll say this: you can make your way. You would get your own climb check with an additional asset from the rope that Nico is anchored.
Yeah.
But if you were to pull it taut, you could make a climbing guide for other people.
That's what I want to do is actually
Okay.
have the rope used for everybody else.
Okay, so you don't need to make a check for that.
Okay.
You know what you're doing when it comes to that. So hold off on that now. But now, so then, Argon, you're the next to arrive, and you see that between you can use both your delve hook and this thing as
assets.
yeah.
So that brings it down to a 2 difficulty.
Yep.
Okay.
Hustle,
This
hustle,
is
hustle.
might. Can I check her speed?
Speed. Deciding whether to spend effort or not?
I'm gonna save it. I'll save it for now. 19 on the die.
Excellent.
Minor effect.
You get a minor effect. Do you have an idea for a minor effect you might want?
Well, the examples in Fuses Flesh with Steel is whenever I get a minor effect or a major effect, my body alters and I get a +1 on similar checks in the future as the body adapts.
Okay.
Huh?
That's so powerful.
Yeah,
It is.
like
I love it though.
The drawbacks from Fuses Flesh and Steel
No,
are
it's
hard too.
You got big.
Yeah.
High risk.
So as you put your cybernetic hand on the whatchamacallit, the rope, a pair of wheels snap out of your forearm on either side of where the monoblade was stashed, and they clamp on and start to whir, and you get pulled up at great speed, and you land elegantly. And you're surprised and actually you're probably really stoked about it.
I look at them and
Go gadget
I'm
arm.
very jealous.
Yeah.
No.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Secretly, I'm like, oh, damn.
You did some Ghost in the Shell,
That'd have been
Battle
nice.
Angel Alita type shit to get up this rope. All right, so Argon.
See that? And then I'll be up there with my delve hook to help pull anybody up.
Okay, so next person to arrive is Naxos.
Yeah, but I got my natural 20. So
here's what I want to do.
deeply inspired by watching that.
All right, now you're not a particularly athletic person.
I have a decent high speed.
You do?
I'm bad at might, but I'm pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll propose this.
Because I have to get away from people at rough
Do you have a really cool thing you'd want to do, or do you want me to narrate you through Naxos's glory?
DM's choice. Yes.
All right. So you get there and you see that your other teammates have definitely set you all up for success, but you want to show them that you don't even need that.
Yeah.
So you run and you basically jump onto the rope itself, and you run up the rope, and you get about 85% of the way up before you have to actually grab it and start pulling yourself and all that. But yeah, the rest of you see Naxos do this incredible feat of grace, and he looks damn good doing it. Which
is the most important.
Now I'm just,
you
really
get
hoping that I...
you get up there with flair.
Yeah.
But because did you roll a 20? You rolled a natural 20?
Natural 20, yes.
All right. I want to give you some other benefit then.
Can I maybe see a way, which way we should go that's like not overrun and infested? Like, do I have a higher vantage point that maybe is like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. You see that now that you're at a slightly higher vantage point, your light, the light from your actual light sources is giving you casting a little further, and you can see that this swarm fills the entirety. What you first saw was just the point of it,
Right.
But yeah, it's covering the whole tube.
Is it all coming this way, or is it
Yes.
covering the tube but just like a little? Oh, okay. I'm like, we're surrounded and it's coming this way.
That's why we got up here.
No, we're surrounded and it's coming this way.
But
Yeah,
Anchor yourselves.
Yeah, we're higher.
No, it's
Yeah.
you are on higher ground basically.
Oh, okay.
Think
So-
3 dimensions.
Hopefully,
I was
you
hearing
do
anything
see
so.
one other point of what looks like similarly higher ground
Right.
that the swarm is flowing around.
I communicate that to to our navigator here.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I basically see one safe place.
All right.
Everybody grab onto the rope.
So
the
Guardian, you make it to Prolethea. You just saw Naxos style it up.
Yep. Move.
You go first. I got this. Alright.
No, don't roll on the phone.
I didn't
No,
mean to.
not
It
on
just
the
bounced up there. 14.
You're up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's the hook as asset.
What's that?
Hook was the asset that I got on this check. Any other?
The rope.
You'd have the rope as an asset.
Well, okay, cool.
When you're going on the rope, I'd like to help him pull up.
Okay, I'll give you another asset between hook and Prolethea help.
All right. So that's 6 or higher. 14.
Excellent.
I
All
did
right.
a physical thing.
Yeah. All right, so you're all on top of this slightly angled top of this this structure,
Everybody hold onto the rope.
and then it just as you get up to the top of the structure is when the wave of creatures starts to crash into it, and you see some of it is kicked up like spray, and you're right in the midst of it, and it's flowing around you, and it's the sound of all their little tiny numerous feet is cumulatively is a roar. There must be thousands upon thousands of these little creatures. You can't see the surface of the of the stuff. The rings and such that you saw on the ground are getting completely obliterated, and it's starting to flow around you. And there is spray kicking up of these creatures, and a few of them are landing on you guys and on the platform.
Ah!
So let's time for some speed
How big-
checks
how
for
big are
basically
they?
initiative.
It's like this
And
big. Huh?
initiative in this, it works that you give us a difficulty for the initiative, and if we win, we go before the thing, and if we lose, we go after the thing.
Yeah. Usually the way it's handled is there is an enemy will go on. They have the difficulty is based on the level of the enemy.
Mhm.
Sometimes when there are multiple enemies together, they attack as a higher level creature
Like a
or
minion
things like
group.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this case, if any of you want to act before these creatures act, what you're trying to beat is. Hold on. Let me see. I'm using a modified monster.
I mean, I'm not really acting against them. I'm getting force bubble up.
Okay.
I'm just doing a buff, so that's a spend.
Yeah. All right. So I'll let you have that before initiative starts, no matter what we do, because you knew what you had to do coming into it.
Yep. Kind of like a
That's right,
rock
this
in
is
the
fine.
ocean spray kind of thing.
In this case,
Full work.
because of because of everything you were doing and how successful you were, I'm going to say that it is a difficulty 4 is what you're trying to beat.
Oh gosh.
So you'll still be able to get your ward up before it happens. But and one thing they can do sometimes for speed in combat is if anybody beats the monsters, then then you all go before the monsters.
So, difficulty
So
4, I don't
should we do that? Let's just do that for speed.
And these are different creatures than what we saw before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or they're the
No,
same.
they're the same.
So it's the
hey.
little.
Little guys.
Okay.
Two rolls a day.
I'm busy chastising them for having not listened to me and not at all moving quickly. I'm like, I told you those bugs were dangerous. You guys didn't listen to
I'm
me.
gonna spend some
Only roll
effort
that.
on this.
Only
So
I
Okay.
gotta.
for speed.
This is a speed check though.
Yep.
I got a 13.
Okay. So you've succeeded.
I got a 10.
That's not a success.
Okay.
I have an 18. I was ready for this. It's
Okay.
guarding.
All right.
5.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that Jordan says these bugs are trying to flirt.
They are trying to smash though. They are trying to
Let me
smash.
smash. So Guardian, you get your field up, and then Nico, you rally everybody else, and you shout out something cool. What do you shout out?
Oh no, the pressure. I don't know. I have nothing cool now that I'm on the spot.
What would a 10-year-old say when they're just ready to let's do this?
I don't know. Let's smash them.
Okay, that's it. That's your quote. That's your catchphrase now and
I
forever.
feel really.
Smash him.
Let's smash them.
I'm doing my part. Yeah.
It works though.
Sure.
Nico's
Very
voice
inspiring.
centers you all, and you're ready as a crashing wave, the crest of which does allow some of these creatures to land in the midst of all of you. There are double digits of them, but nothing compared to the thousands that are now flowing around the base of the structure.
Blech. Sword.
And it's interesting. It seems like they seem to follow each other. You know, I guess in our
mentality kind of thing.
in our world, it would seem kind of like a school of fish. Not that any of you have ever seen a fish in this world, but yeah, they seem to follow each other. Most of them tend to follow each other around the whatchamacallit, the structure.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are up here, it's not that they climbed up here; they just kind of splashed onto it.
So I do draw my sword, but do I see any signs of intelligence?
Can I talk to them?
Here's the thing: you're kind of weirded out by it because it seems as if they are behaving as a group intelligence.
Okay.
Just make room for them to get by.
I don't think they're trying to get by.
They're trying to go.
All right.
For sure, trying to just get by.
So, initiative-wise, because of Nico's quick thinking and reflexes,
And terrible
catchphrase,
talking. Terrible catchphrase.
You speak with
That's
actions,
we
not
have this.
words.
let's have you go first.
Let's smash.
Okay, so I mean, so we're all just like clinging onto this sort of rock type.
You're able to
structure.
stand. You're in an area probably about the size of this room.
Okay, and they're just like in the center, having splashed here.
They're all over. They're mixed in your midst.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. There could be, I don't know, 20 of them.
But are they like doing any actions towards us?
Yes.
What are they doing?
They look like they're coming right for us. The few of them, as they land, like some of them look confused, but then when they regain their sense, they look like they're going to attack you. They look aggressive.
You said they couldn't bite.
Well,
Ooh,
You can see from one of them is out of the corner of your eye that's flipped over. The top of them are segmented, and they lay quite flat when they're against the surface. But their little legs underneath, which are too many to count, seem to end in tiny blades.
Oh, cool.
Nico,
They're
would you like to do Wrecking Orb?
They're war
Yes!
centipedes.
All right. So we both have
Oh, the perfect setup,
the
player
perfect
intrusion.
setup. Yeah.
Okay.
So who would play the XP for that?
Well, here's the thing. If you both play it, then I'll let you do. You could have 6 targets.
Wait, so how it reads is it doesn't say 3. It says a minimum of 3.
A minimum of 3.
So potentially,
So
if we were to,
potentially-
like whirlwind.
Yeah.
What we'd like to do basically
You're doing some Huga.
is we're gonna be using the rope to fling each other about. So basically, like he's gonna anchor the rope, and I'm gonna like
Gonna be
jump
very
around
acrobatic.
and shit.
I love
Okay.
the idea that I'm like mid monologue and you guys just erupt in this
Yeah.
like
I'm
death
gonna
Yeah.
let you finish.
Wait,
gonna let
like
you
a
finish.
bola though.
So now you still have to make attack rolls, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's for you make an attack roll for each creature still.
Okay.
Oh.
Are these individual bugs or are they basically a single creature?
Yeah.
You make an attack roll against
Like
each one.
minion groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd
They can get the benefit of attacking as a higher level creature by attacking in a group, but you still do have to kill them individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read the perfect setup?
I think we're good with what we've got
Okay.
here. I'll have you. Let's have you both make 6 attack rolls.
Can I
Okay.
apply effort
It'd
Yes.
be to each one separately.
to each one separately? So
No,
I've
it's-
to-
no,
I'm
So
gonna
it's-
tell you right now that in this sort of encounter, like metagame wise, because these are tiny creatures that are easy to kill, it's probably not worth spending individual effort on.
And
Trust
it's
your guidance.
it's not you don't spend effort per each creature. It's the effort is for the action. Like it's the same. What is the phrase?
Move.
Effort you
perfect
can
setup.
apply
All right,
on
I
one
will allow
action.
that. I will allow that in this case. Then, if you spend effort, I'll have it applied to all of the rolls you make.
Sick.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, it says you're being.
So we just roll it?
So let's roll.
James Ward.
Yeah.
19.
That's a hit with a special effect. I'll
And,
let you kill
bunch
an
of
additional one
extra
for
damage.
that.
That's extra damage. So you're rolling 6 times.
6 times?
And what are we trying to get on each one?
That's also a hit.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Your target number for these is 1. So
Oh,
you-
cool.
or sorry, is 3. It's
Yeah.
it's difficulty 1.
Oh, difficult.
Oh, okay. I think it's 6 for some reason. I was like, whoo.
6 times though.
Yeah.
When they attack as a
13.
higher number,
Alright.
but
Yeah, as long as you're 3
That's
or
3
higher.
hits.
6.
4 hits.
17.
Hits with additional damage.
got-
with additional damage.
I got a-
14.
4,
Okay.
15, a 17, and a 9
all
so
hits.
These
far.
are all hits.
Okay.
1 extra damage.
And a 9.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to count a whole extra 1 for that. So you had a total of how many successes?
6.
Plus 1 from your
Yeah.
19 you had.
19, yeah.
My,
All right,
si-
so
my
I'm gonna say
sixth
you
roll
got-
was a critical fail.
What's that?
My 6th roll was a natural 1.
And that's going to be an intrusion.
Hot damn.
That was my final one. All of the other ones
All
were
right.
hits, and I got a 17.
Trying too hard
So,
to keep up, little girl.
The ones that are closest to you, Pralethea, you lash out with your double-bladed glaive, and you're just spinning it side to side,
Yeah.
and you very precisely are skewering and slicing these various creatures in half, and then when you manage to dispatch 7 of them, and then when you're done, you stab your glaive into a crevice, and you take both hands and you pull the rope, and Nico runs into it and basically launches off of your back, and you just swing her. And you start. What weapon are you using to cut down these
I'm
ones?
unarmed. I get a bonus for that.
Okay, so you're in midair, just crushing them, smacking them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
You're all stomping bugs.
Gross.
yeah. You're just
Kicking the shit out of them.
Gross.
you're an orb of death. You're a flail.
Yeah.
Uh,
the move is called the Wrecking Orb.
The
Yeah.
wrecking orb. All right.
They
We
came in like
practiced a couple
wrecking
times.
We did this in training.
We
do this for fun.
did.
Yeah.
Remember to yell it
We
though.
All
You
right.
have to
trained
yell
a few
it.
moves together.
Oh yeah, we have to yell
You
it.
have to yell it.
Wrecking Orb!
Wrecking
I'm
orb.
not as excited about it, about yelling it.
Yeah.
All right. At
So
the
emo.
at the end of this, you're relishing in your glory of everything you've accomplished.
Probably getting
but
a little too cocky.
but at the end of it, the rope breaks.
Oh fuck.
So I'm going to have you make a speed check to see if
Okay.
you can catch yourself as the rope
Well, I was gonna
breaks.
say, is there any way that I could catch them?
I was going
No.
to say, can I
This is-
try? You were just dead there. I haven't done anything yet.
this is an
Just me.
this is she rolled a 1, and this is an intrusion that without she got to handle it on her own.
I am trained in tasks requiring incredible focus. I don't know if that helps at all. I feel like this.
I don't think so.
You act without consequence. I feel like that is what should affect this. The fact that you DGAF.
You know, that's a very, very good point. But I mean, you have to. The fact that I'm allowing you to make a check, I think anybody else would have flown off into the sea of blades.
All right. Okay.
That's an intrusion on me.
Let's do this. What am I? What's the
What's the difficulty?
This is difficulty 4. But you know what? I'll let you reduce it with climbing.
Okay.
So it's only a 3 for you. So you need a 9. You can spend effort if you want.
No, I got a 17.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Is
And
that-
Thank you.
I got you.
Yeah.
Sibling magic. Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Pictures of kids.
So Nico,
Failing with style.
you catch on to a bit of broken web strand that's jutting from the structure,
Okay.
and your feet are dangling from the edge of the structure, but you're able to pull yourself back up, and you see just inches below where your feet were dangling is a churning mass flowing like another thing you've never seen, like a river.
And I'm gonna quickly run back to the rope and just like hook it back onto my thing.
Okay.
I'm
well,
good,
the
I'm
rope
good.
the rope is actually snapped, so you can't reattach it quickly.
To fix it.
Okay,
later.
but
You
I'm
have to
just
you have to
gonna-
fix it out of combat.
I'm gonna grab it though.
Okay.
Like I'm just holding on to it.
Okay.
And just doing that like that face cats make when they fall and get back up real quick.
No, the nobody saw me face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like, no,
Okay.
good. I meant to do that. Yeah, right.
All right. So next up
Be
is,
careful.
I guess, everybody else, right? So Naxos, what are you doing?
Are any bugs still alive up here near
Yes.
me? Okay, I'm gonna sword one of them.
Okay.
Actually, I take that back. Is there anything I can do to assist her? Or does it seem like she's kind of safe right now?
Spend an action mending the rope, maybe.
Yeah. You could do that. But I mean, the other thing is...
Or kill them faster.
Like, in character, are you going out of your way to save other people before making yourself safe?
Or are you physically attacking?
Realistically, they can kill a lot of bugs. I can kill them. So this is like a sharpen your blade type rationale. Keeping them in the fight behooves me. Yeah.
Well, could you use something like one of your rhetoric skill or something like that to say inspiring words?
So far, I can only do socially stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so far.
But you will be able to do stuff like that eventually.
Eventually, I'll be able to say like combat words. Right now, I can only say good hustle words.
Experiences like this will teach you the need for that as a future skill to develop. Okay.
Well, can I try and fix the edges of their rope to be able to like get to both secure her and help them be able to do that again? Because I don't know that they can't do it again.
It might take more than a round.
But I'll try.
You want to start anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so in case she falls, because if she falls, it's death. So I'm kind of like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you rush over to Nico.
The edges of the rope, yeah.
And and she's holding one edge of the frayed rope.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Naxos reach for your part of the rope, and then he unclips the carabiner with a little bit of strand left on it, and settles down and starts mending.
Yeah.
Thing is just...
And you can see there's enough slack in the rope that you can still continue to move around.
I'm gonna start doing some stem winding.
Yeah, some stem winding.
I know. But although when I'm doing it though, actually I am kind of like, no one is gonna believe this when we get back, and I tell everybody about what happened here in the tunnels. Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna jump you in the order for story reasons right now, but you'll be next. Guardian, there's a particular quadrant which is basically the one closest to where the wave was coming from, and some of if you hadn't had your ward up, even more of these creatures would have splashed onto this platform. But you see some of them have slid down the front of your shield, and what is your action to just continue maintaining that? Or?
It's not a concentration. Fun enough.
Oh, okay, so you can just leave it.
There isn't really concentration
Set it
here.
and forget
it's action to create.
Okay.
And it costs what it costs. But
Do you spend it just
in
once?
5 actions, I can do the party.
Okay.
If I wanted to, but it makes their attacks more difficult. So instead, I'm going to interpose myself into prime tanking position, and I'm going to take guarding action to increase the difficulty of attacks of, like, the people by me by a step.
Okay.
So I don't do anything fancy. I really just take a guarding action.
All right.
You shall not pass.
There is Argon. There's an area slightly off to the side, which looks a little bit less protected. That isn't. Do you want to try to get in there and attack some things?
Yeah,
or?
I'll get in there and attack some things. I'm gonna, for the effects of my attack, I'm just using my hook to like sweep things.
Is that a medium weapon?
I'm not actually gonna want. I want to use not as a weapon. Like I use the hook as like. I'm still going to be unarmed just because I counts as an asset. If I use a light weapon, because I'm trained in light weapons, it brings things down a step, but I do less damage.
The delve hook is...
I'm not using my delve hook. Okay. So I'm using my delve hook to describe why I get that step down. For using,
it's not a light weapon, though.
I'm not so I want to hit with my fist.
Okay.
So I'm using because I'm only doing 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And but light weapons get a step down.
Okay.
And I'm just descriptively saying I'm using my delve hook to pull things in and then punching them.
Okay.
You're road hogging it.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
But the damage is not with
the damage
road,
is not
it's
with the
hog.
It's
a narrative thing.
Yeah, it's just the
Okay.
narrative description of why it is easier for me to hit things is because I'm using my hook to pull things.
You have to yell, "Get over here!"
Now, in this case, because you've reduced the difficulty by a step by being unarmed, you don't need to roll.
Yeah.
So you pull one in, and you just smash it with your fist.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Good job, Argon.
Can I still roll? Because there's
to try to get.
Yeah, there's a chance that my servos adapt.
There's a 25% chance you do additional damage.
Yes.
As well as a 5% chance that it goes horribly.
And I'm risk taking.
You know what? I normally would not allow that, but I think because you're a risk taker, I'm going to allow it.
Okay.
So normally you would just automatically succeed in the heat of combat of doing one thing.
It's
Vanilla.
still regular hit.
Same result.
Yeah.
You've squashed one bug. All right. So now I'm going to handle. It's time for defense rolls. Let's see. You don't need to make any because the ones that were closest to you were stopped by your shield. And I'm going to say that extends over to. I think the only people who I would consider relatively exposed would be Argon, Nico, and Naxos. So I want.
So I only get Prolethea. Sorry, buddies.
Make me feel so special.
No, but they're supposed to come after me.
Yeah. I mean, you could give commands and beat stuff to you could tell people to gather
Yeah,
on
apparently I'm going to have to do that. Or
Yeah.
actually tell Noxus
It's time to herd some cats. So,
Tell me to tell them.
all right.
Excuse me.
So what's our difficulty?
I want each of you to make 3 speed defense rolls, and they're difficulty 9. Oh, actually, no, sorry, they're...
difficulty 3.
Oh, sorry, target
Oh my
number.
God,
Sorry,
I'm
target
freaking
number
out.
9. Oh, but you know what? You reduced it. You reduced it with your
By one
hindered.
step, yep.
So it's 6.
Okay, so it's 3 for me because I'm trained in speed defense.
I'm also trained in speed defense.
You are? Okay. So 3 for you two. Are you trained in speed defense?
No, I'm trained in stealth and climbing.
So
Okay.
what's the number I need to beat?
I do
6.
have
BD3.
Beat a 3.
I do have fleet of foot.
Is it 3? You reduced it down to
That's
1?
an attack at
because you-
Oh, yeah. 2
move
steps.
and act.
Which is good because I rolled 5.
Okay. Now you need to
Yeah,
make
I
3 of
know.
those each.
Oh, 3 of them.
Yeah.
I got three.
Okay.
I rolled 3 d20s.
Oh, I have.
And they're all successes?
Well, I got a 19 and a 17. I don't know if that matters, like, effects-wise. Otherwise,
19
I'm good.
of us.
A 19 it would.
Okay, so I got a 19, a 12, and a 17.
I do also have slip into shadow, which is
Pretty sure they can see
Yeah,
in
it
the
doesn't,
dark.
that doesn't apply. Yeah.
But it's just slip away from a selected target. But I guess it's not into shadow.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so 3.
Yeah, you gotta make 3.
difficulty. Your target number is 6 because of the guardian.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. 18. 12. 13.
Yay!
Okay.
No one gets hurt.
No one took. All right.
These bugs.
No one took any damage. You can see that they're some of them land on you, but those of you who are wearing filter skins, you can see that your suits do protect you. That's the other thing too, is if you have armor and something does, like in your case, if you have an armor of 3, you ignore any damage that's a 3 or lower.
I don't ignore emotional damage of a giant pill bug trying to shoot through my suit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intellect defense.
I did get a minor effect if that's relevant. If not, we can keep rolling.
Oh, can it just bounce right off the...
All right. Here's what I say. Your minor
I'm like,
effect is. Yeah, exactly. You're going like and enough of your erratic movements have basically like you've cleared a bit of a space.
Like voguing.
Around, you're voguing the bugs away.
Vogue
All right.
Yep.
So new round.
Okay.
There are still a few of these creatures, on the platform with you. Well, let's just go back in the order again. Nico, what are you doing? You've handed off the end of your rope to Naxos, who seems
I
to be.
just want to like try to kick them off. Like that's I just want to kick bugs.
You want to just go kick some bugs off?
This is
Yeah.
Sparta kick.
Okay.
This is Sparta, and then kick
Do you
the bugs
now
off.
Service
do glaives get
guarantees
multiple attacks
citizenship.
earlier than the other people do?
Not at tier 1.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
think we just get one.
And when
I think we
people
only get the perfect.
and
set.
anybody can choose to make extra attacks or just added difficulty, right?
I have not seen that rule.
Okay. I will review that. in
House
future.
rule. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it's like you're the GM.
It just seems weird that that glaives can only make 1 attack. Maybe that's only at the beginning.
I mean, it's really
I mean, they're that much more powerful. All right. So
there's
you
some
don't.
special abilities that
Yeah.
might let you do it, but it's definitely a
You've disrupted them enough in that first round that I'm not allowing them to act as to get the benefit of acting as a group. So if
Okay.
you want to smash one, you'll automatically do it. You don't need to roll.
Okay,
The
cool.
difficulty's lowered. You just want to just go kick one off and this is
Yeah.
Sparta on it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. How many do we have left?
We've killed 13.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've been watching it.
It seems like there are probably about that many left. You got through about half of them in that first 6 to 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. This is still a lot of
I mean,
stupid bugs.
y'all did great.
Yeah.
Y'all did great.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And y'all
I'm
didn't
just
get hit.
gonna kick a bug and say, "This for breaking my rope."
It's your fault. All right.
Oh no, we plus the 1 dead, so we're now at 15 dead.
Okay.
Good.
Body count.
What were you asking?
Alright.
So who's next?
Naxos, you are continuing to mend this rope.
Until I feel it's good. Yeah.
Let's have you do a speed task, and this is normally be difficulty 4.
Well, I got an 11.
Okay, so that's a failure.
Okay.
So you haven't finished reconnecting this rope yet,
Okay.
but you're working on
I'm
it.
like, stop, hold still.
Sorry, it's mostly me. Sorry, Naxos.
Prolepia, what are you doing?
Well, I guess we'll just take this rope off so that they can fix it.
No, they can keep working on it while you.
Tugging my.
Where I'm like dramatically.
There's
I'm like,
enough slack.
Yeah.
Tug
Just kill
over here.
bugs.
There's enough
It's a
slack.
50-foot
I
We
was
can keep working on
being
it, so-
dramatic.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, do
He
you,
does
you,
that.
you can get an auto kill on another. You don't need,
Auto-kill.
you don't need to roll.
Kill bugs.
Idle
Well,
hero.
since he's got a double glaive, is that where you were thinking of the double attack? Is that the?
You know, we're gonna have to approach this out of combat because I'm not sure I'm handling this correctly, but because I feel like some of you,
Case by case.
I feel like
House rule.
I feel like the glaives are supposed to have other abilities
Yeah.
that make them just better in basic combat.
Other glaiviness? Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. I'm awful.
By comparison,
Yeah.
your competence is a virtue. So yeah, you pull your double-bladed glaive out of the spot where you had it stashed while you were rope swinging, and yeah, you skewer another bug. All right. So we'll just keep going this way.
Yeah.
Argon.
Risk taking still.
All right. So you're gonna roll for one even though you don't have to.
Yeah. Still just regular hit.
Yeah. All right. So yep, you lash out and use it. You can say you use the delve hook or whatever.
Yeah.
You crush another one. All right, Guardian. There are how many roughly do we have left now? You think maybe?
Well, we've killed 17.
Okay, so there.
17 and there are about 26 according to earlier
Yeah.
number.
So yeah, you still got about 9 left.
Yep. So I am going to continue guarding.
Okay.
I want to try to aggro them toward me.
Okay.
So that I'm the one making the defense or taking damage if damage needs to be taken to the
So-
most I can. I'm trying to tank.
All right. So tell me, do you do it with noise or movement? How do you do it?
I want to extend pieces of the force bubble out to try to herd them.
Okay, you're gonna funnel them towards
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And away from them. So like if they start going toward them, it's like psst.
Okay. So now is your barrier force visible?
Maybe if you wanted to be.
Right, pretty much.
Okay.
Y'all can see it.
All
Like
right.
you're not gonna like into it.
There is. You have established.
You're
there's
not
a
gonna burn
constant-
no index.
You have established there's a constant flow of this like dust everywhere. So
When
it
things
makes
come in
sense that
contact
we're,
with it, yeah.
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 I'm liking that. So like there's a bit of glitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glitter
So
and
yeah,
be gay.
you can
That's how I
see the bugs that are caught up in the wind and crashing from this crested wave. You can see them being directed by the Guardian's force field away from your bodies and making a greater part of the top of the structure safe.
Come at me, bugs.
Come at me, bugs. All right. So I'm going to say that you need to make in doing you have protected yourself a little bit less in doing this by so some of them have managed to slip. Well, you were funneling some of them towards
Yeah,
you.
I'm trying to tank.
All right.
Tank
So
means they come at me and not at the children.
Yeah.
The literal children.
Hey,
so you need
young
to
adult.
Disaster kids.
make 2 speed defense
Right.
checks, and it's standard difficulty 2, target number 6.
Excellent. Okay. Should we say that my guarding action was an aggro action rather
Okay.
than the decrease 1 step? Because
Okay.
it sounds like a proactive thing.
Okay.
So then it's just my normal training in speed defense, so I bring it down to 1.
I love how fair you are.
Are they the only one making speed defense?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, for now.
1.
Yeah.
No. And you.
So you succeeded on both of them?
I do.
Okay. So yeah, you can see that these two that were biting at you, their little bladed limbs are bouncing off of your own personal field.
They hit them right in the fields.
Right in the fields. Right in the fields. Okay. And I'm going to say, let's see. You funneled most of them away. Nico. You should make one speed defense check.
Oh, okay. What am I hoping for?
You need a 6.
I got a 6.
Hey.
Yay!
All right.
It's right here, and you're like.
All right. So I'm going to say at this point that some of the remaining ones, stymied by your field, have now are leaving the structure and then going back down and they're rejoining the wave of creatures that's flowing around you.
That's right.
You guys, I fixed the rope.
Yeah, Naxos finishes mending the rope.
That
You click it back onto your filter skin, and you can see that the swarm is moving as a group, and it's swirling around the structure that you're on right now, but the bulk of it seems to be dissipating and working its way back into the darkness, like it's starting to do a big U-turn.
I point out the safe way I saw that it was like there's when I was noped up the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I point that out to you.
Good eye.
Well, I mean, the wall is the ground, so
Right.
you're in the same spot as everybody else.
No, but you said before when I saw another safe place ahead because they were all over the tunnel. And you said I saw another place that they
Off in the distance. Yeah.
Of similar height.
Of,
Right.
of similar height.
Right.
At this point,
I
they
transmit that.
okay. Yeah, you see them. The bulk of them are now returning into the darkness from whence they came. There's still some that seem to be swirling in circles, but their movement as a group, their behavior seems more erratic when there are less of them.
Right.
And so after a while, those ones that were swirling around start to dissipate, and you see them moving out into all of the rings and stuff that you spotted earlier have all been disrupted at this point. And it's a different pattern. It's a flow of dust based on the creatures. But the ones that were left, maybe a couple hundred of them that were swirling around the structure your island that you were on, they start to move back, and you see them go back to their work and begin creating circles again.
They really are sand mandalas.
Yeah, bug elementals. Big bug elementals.
That was awesome.
I'm just saying I was right about the bugs.
Well, I think those bugs are fine. It's
That's the same bugs!
No, but I mean, like, it's like those are like, just like a little group of bugs, and they're like the pusher bugs, and then there's like this big massive bug. We don't like.
So
the
let's just
massive
recap
bugs.
what happened. Oh, look, cute little bugs. And I'm like, what's up with the bugs? Sweeping, crushing hordes of bugs, and now you're back to like, oh, cute little bugs. That's not at all what you were supposed to take from this.
Whatever, it was the coolest.
I'd never seen the Isopodath before.
That's what they're called.
I'm like, excuse me. Do you know what you're doing? And I want to sense deception, by the way.
Okay. Let's just role play it out as much as we can.
Well, I've been out here, but this is a bit further than normal.
Yeah.
You got this, right?
I mean, do you have this? Because they just went down the same tunnel that we've got to go down. So...
Did your confidence come from a mistaken assumption that this was going to be safe?
No, it came from an assumption that it was going to be possible.
Well, we
my
just got
goodness.
through that, so...
Still.
Yeah, but it's still that way.
I think we'll be fine. They know exactly what they're doing. You've led us this far. We're safe. We're fine. Keep doing your good job.
Yeah,
I got your back the whole
Let's
way.
just
No,
stay
that's
near
cool.
high ground.
No, cool. Just the next time there's an oncoming onslaught of death bugs, maybe a heads up. That's all I'm asking.
I'm making a composure roll.
Okay.
Yeah, because the mean girl's meaning at them.
What should my difficulty be? On that?
Can I be an asset since
No.
I'm there with you?
Because
I'm here.
I was super fine until I clocked the death bugs before they did.
I would
Now I'm
say
like,
that.
hold on
I
a
think
second.
Prolethea. If you think that Prolethea would help you keep your composure with their words of reassurance, I'd count that as an asset.
Well, what's the difficulty?
Unless you're so distrustful
be
of the
an opposed
reborn
roll.
that you
Huh?
know.
Probably be an opposed roll.
Is it
How mean is
opposed
the mean
or
girl?
Oh, a what roll?
how is it an
Composure
opposed roll?
No.
'Cause I'm rolling composure.
No. I'm gonna say it would be. It would normally be difficult, which is a 4, but if you want to accept Prolethea's reassurance, it would be demanding, which is a 3. So you need a 9.
But to be clear, my interest is not
you
to
accept
wound.
my
My
friendship?
interest is to find out the truth. Like, it's like, are you bullshitting us? I need to know right now.
I think you're fine.
That's my, yeah, that is my intention. You know?
Okay. Yeah. No, I accept Prolethea's support,
Okay.
and that
Praise.
because I rolled an 11, so I just barely.
All right, just barely.
I mean, I'm glad you guys are having a moment, like, whatever.
So Naxos, you see Argon. They're keeping it together, but a little bit less confident, maybe in general.
Cool. Great.
You were really good in that fight.
You don't necessarily sense that they were lying; they were actively deceiving. But maybe they weren't maliciously misrepresenting their experience.
Miscalculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be more dangerous and weird than even they were ready for. So
Right. Cool.
so not outright lying.
Got it. Cool. Cool.
Okay. So
which way?
So what's next?
Yeah, where are we headed to? Again, I would just like to point out, death bugs are that way. So.
well, that's the way you're going. That's into yesterday.
I think
Yeah.
there's a lot more than death bugs that way.
Yeah, but there's definitely are death bugs.
Well, now we know to get high ground, so just stay near high ground.
That was not all.
There are threads where you go
I
back.
think we.
It doesn't go well, but there are threads.
I think we.
Do you feel strongly about having both arms?
See, Guardian, excuse me, isn't it your job to keep us all safe? Because I feel like I've backed you on a lot of things up until now. I feel like you should probably be even more concerned about this than me. Like, why am I the only one that thinks maybe getting eaten by an oncoming mass of death things is non-optimal?
I think we are all taking this very seriously, Naxos.
You didn't
We
have to
are
come.
just keeping our shit together better.
Hey, it's my job to state the obvious.
I think you did that
Apparently.
pretty well.
It's been stated.
So which way do you think we should go?
Towards
I-
death bugs.
No, I think. Well,
Yes.
yes, but I think we navigate and stay away from the direct ring of the circles.
I have a question. Is this wave of what did you call them?
Isopodeth. Isopodeth? Isopodeth.
I suppose death.
Yes. The death.
It's in the name.
They weren't tickles.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so the death bugs. So the death bugs came and they like just buried everything and got rid of all tracks and all of that. So what are we looking for?
Well, they didn't get rid of all the tracks. There's
looks
still
like they-
some there, and they're now pushing them together.
So
I feel like-
that's the rings, but like okay, so we're looking for bodies or people or whatever. Like, how do we track them if?
Oh, there's no
this-
bodies. No,
if this-
there's no bodies.
But if this wave of death bugs like covers everything or like makes me, I don't know what we're supposed to track.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're dead. I'm pretty sure they're dead and eaten. Yeah, like we're not recovering anything if that's what's out there.
But we need to find Anna.
We can't just quit now.
We have to find Hana's
you
body.
all convinced me to do this, especially you.
I'm not saying we go back. I'm saying what is our plan? What are we looking for?
For the audience, I'll recap that one of the things that this group is looking for in one of the reasons they're going into yesterday is to look for Hana, who was a reborn, a unique reborn who may have been bullied into leaving. But Prolethea had sensed a call, and you had something.
They will literally all die if I don't. they will maybe literally all die if I did.
Yeah.
But I would like to sort of take a look at the bugs emerging from the rings. Where were they during the swarm?
They were
Because
they were part of it.
It's all the same bugs.
This is stragglers.
But they aren't part of the swarm and they have a different goal. The idea being like, how do creatures survive these swarms? By looking at the ones that just stay here and are fine.
No,
They
they're
were
the same bugs.
part of this. They're the same bugs that were part of the swarm. Were the ones making the rings.
So everything gets swallowed up in the swarm. There's absolutely...
No, it's like, imagine if it was all
No,
bees.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I got you.
Bees.
That's where I'm reacting from a place of bees right
Yeah.
now.
It's some sort of hive mind, and some of them, after the defense is triggered, some return to their previous task, and the others have a task that we don't know yet.
All right.
Swarming, obviously.
That sounds reasonable.
Trying to find some way to stay out here, you guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to, from this vantage, to kind of make another navigation roll, just try to figure out our trail.
Yeah, to try to search for a safer path, deeper.
How far away from the rings that the new bugs are making?
Couple 100 feet.
But we're now over them.
While
essentially.
everyone's thinking
Yeah.
and yelling, I'm gonna run over and help make rings.
Stop, no, don't touch the rings. That's what made this all happen.
I feel like it's unrelated.
I'm leaving her down there if this swarm comes back.
Okay.
I'm like, you get eaten this time.
So, Nico, make me an intellect roll.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to tell you the difficulty. Tell me what you get. You can
I
spend effort if you want.
think I'm going to, just because that's so
That wasn't ominous at all.
I can't tell you the difficulty because it's unusual, but
yeah, I'm gonna spend effort,
okay.
which
To
just reduces
reduce it by a step. Yeah.
Yeah. I got an 11.
Okay. So Nico scrambles down the structure back to the ground while you're all arguing about this, and she goes over and starts to try to help make the rings with the creatures. And the few of these little bugs, they look very, very disturbed when you start doing it.
Of course they do.
But then you end up kind of mimicking their behaviors, and they seem to kind of think that, oh, okay, you're one of us.
You're the same size, so...
So they continue on with their tasks, and they accept you as another helper. You made bug
I'm
friends.
part of the bug village. I've got bug friends.
So you were all like horrified to see her run down there, and you're like,
I was getting ready to pull her back.
So basically, I've learned to imitate the bugs. Like, is this a skill I can carry with me that I'm a...
That like stick bug walk thing they do.
Yeah. You certainly think so.
Okay, cool.
You think you have learned their ways. I am one of them now.
I will take you to your leader. All right.
I shall call you Frank.
You want to make your and you're using effort?
It's intellect. Yeah.
Are you gonna come help make rings?
I'm gonna use some intellect effort so I have navigation trained, and then in effort dropped it by 2 steps.
Okay, so you only need a target number of 9 or higher.
18.
All right,
Ooh.
excellent.
I feel like they made it. I feel like that was successful.
You see off in the distance, if you can avoid the ring areas that are being reconstructed right now through a path that you can see. It meanders a bit. It's not direct, but you could find a way through that, and that leads towards the other landmark outcropping that you spotted. And then it's just at the edge of where the dim light is still cast, but you can see what looks like an even more clean area. Like it's starting in that, and there's a way to get to it.
Okay.
From what you're seeing.
I have a question for the Guardian. You keep saying all the different variations in which we die, and then there's variations in which we maybe live. Are there any variations in which we find Hana?
I can't see in the dark.
Okay. Okay.
That's poetic. I like that.
That's reassuring. Yeah.
That works on so many levels.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start singing. I'm just making up songs.
Making that rings.
I have faith.
You guys want to come help make rings?
Absolutely not.
We
No.
need to move.
Are
Are you
I
ready
found
to
a
move,
path.
Nika?
Time is valuable.
I'm gonna pat the head of the closest bug.
All right. So at this point, it's probably been about 3 hours of your trek into yesterday, and you make your way deeper, and the light starts to get even darker, and then by the time you get to the area that you spotted, where it continues further, there is no more usable light from the village of today, and the only light you have now are your own light sources. Which only really cast out. You've got about 100 feet of visibility. You see at that point there isn't any dust, there's drit, but there's no more waste left over. It seems almost like everything is empty from this point, and you can see the ground. Has occasional areas where there are what they call like founder squares, which are squares or rectangles that are, and those sort of right angles are not normally present in typical human architecture. It's only stuff related to the reborn. So you proceed a little further into that. I'm going to, let's see. I'll have everybody make an intellect check, and if you have anything related to salvaging Numenera or understanding Numenera, it will reduce it by a step.
I think I'm hindered, actually.
I'm
I'm
hindered.
You're hindered.
I'm good at salvaging, but I'm hindered at understanding.
In this case, I'm going to say you don't have the hindrance. You have the benefit.
Okay.
We'll just held
What's
it
the
down.
difficulty?
I have an inability in crafting, salvaging, or understanding.
So you do have it.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Same.
one step more difficult. So to anybody who doesn't have any hindrances or assets, it is a difficulty 5 task.
Okay.
So difficulty 5, so
So-
goal is 15.
Yeah, but in your case, you're hindered, right?
Yeah, so it's a goal of 18.
You need an 18.
So I'm not gonna find shit, you guys.
You might.
Brings me down to 4, which is
No, I
a
didn't.
12.
Mhm.
Take a level of effort on this.
And I'm gonna use effort as well.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on things because I don't
Yeah.
trust anybody else to notice.
Yeah, you're definitely more
Brings me down
focused
to
on
a 9.
what other people are doing,
Yep.
and making sure everybody's behaving in a sensible way.
Yeah.
17.
They're out here. There's nothing sensible
Okay.
at all.
I'm making bug noises to myself.
So you had a success? All right. You stumble across something which you have only heard about in legend.
Ooh.
It's an actual
Legend?
founder's panel. It's basically one of these areas that they look almost like sort of tiles.
Mhm.
And you come over to it, and you immediately you try to think back to one of the. But I want you to make me another intellect task, and if you have an asset for salvaging, if you have an ability for salvaging Numenera, you get that as an asset.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you the difficulty.
Okay.
So-
I'm
It's
going
47!
to spend more effort.
You can.
I'm quickly becoming mentally exhausted.
You burning through your pool.
Natural 17.
Okay, excellent. All right, time for a new cipher.
4.
So
You guys, we got a new cipher!
Well,
So
not a real rest.
Argon-
Just the first recovery roll is an action, so
Okay.
you can do that very
Yeah.
quickly.
So, Argon, you go through, you cast the ancient spell, which will allow you to activate this panel,
Mm-hmm.
this founder's panel, And as you complete the spell, you press into it, and with a hiss of dust loosening and a puff of air escapes, and the panel pops up. And you can see that you can see the guts of it underneath are dark machinery, and inside of it there is a glowing object.
A glowing thingamadoodle.
Well, let's go out here. Well, glowing is dangerous out here.
Okay, it looks like it looks like this.
Okay.
I guess
that?
in our world it would be kind of like a weird seashell or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of helixy
Yeah.
thing.
And you understand from it that it is porous and filled with a liquid, which when you activate it is basically like a fireproofing spray. I'm going to roll for the level of it. This is a level 6.
Ooh.
Now, here's the thing. How many ciphers can you bear at a time?
2.
All right.
Just gonna
Hand it over to them. So that would bring you up to 3.
Yes.
So you have a choice now to either you can ditch one of your ciphers, or we can make a roll on the table.
Or I could use one of them.
That's true.
So psychic communique is only a one-time, one-way telepathic message.
Yeah. These are all one-use items. All your
And the
ciphers.
monoblade is, I'm not using that yet because that's
Right.
for emergency uses only. But this, if I spray it, has armor against fire equal to the cipher's level for 28 hours.
Yeah, just fireproof him for a good long time. Seems like a good spend.
Yeah. You could just use it right away.
I could just use it right away.
I appreciate you just reaching like the creepy Geiger hole, and they're like,
Yeah.
Axe body spray. I got Axe body spray.
like suddenly I find you irresistible.
I look at it.
You
I
smell
think about it.
douchey.
This is could be useful. I don't know if we're gonna encounter fire, but
Who knows what we
Is there
encounter?
fire in there?
well, no. This helps protect against fire.
Oh, that's awesome. How do you make it work?
Well, I'm going to turn it so that it activates,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to spray Alethea.
All right.
Ah!
This is a spray down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're wearing it. It goes on top of your gear and
Yeah.
stuff. So
This is how I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
because
you
we're
gotta.
gonna be in the front.
Sounds
All right.
good to me.
You've been spritzed very deeply.
And spritz deeply. What is it?
Whoa.
It gives you
Fireproof.
6 levels of armor against fire for the next 28 hours.
Sick.
Pretty insane.
Send all your fire things at me.
Note to self.
Yeah.
Attack everybody except for Lithia with fire
No,
stuff.
we're invading the
They
Fire
just
Nation.
know somehow.
We're invading the Fire Nation today. Yes.
So, but there's still like some weird metal panel that's been lifted up with all kinds of wires and stuff in it, right?
While you're activating the spray, you see it sinks back down
Oh no!
into the ring, and it slams shut. Nico, you come over to it, and you're like, ugh, and you can't pry your fingernails under it or any of that sort
Start
of
just
stuff.
hating it.
Yeah, in frustration.
Nico, just calm down. Calm down.
But I wanted to open up again. It was awesome. It's like a little like treat
I'm
cabinet.
sure there'll be more. I'm sure there'll be more.
So I'm gonna take an action to catch my breath and do a recovery roll.
Okay,
Um,
that lets you roll what D6 plus.
Roll a d6 out of a table.
Yeah,
D6 plus 2?
is it?
I think some people have things that
Yeah.
have additional. Is the base just D6 plus 2?
I think so. This
It is now. Let's do it.
Cool. Awesome.
Roughly, how big is the ring?
I'm gonna
like,
use that for my intellect.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean-
to refill some of your intellect
Yeah.
pool.
So I just roll d6, add 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
like, can we see all the way to the ceiling?
So 5.
Yes.
So
Well, not anymore because there's not enough light.
Well, what I mean, like, if in terms of miles, if we were to start at 6 o'clock, walk all the way around the ring, and come back to 6 o'clock, roughly how many
Hold
miles
on.
would we have?
You're
walked?
talking about walking two directions. Imagine it like a cat track or like a tire tube or something.
No,
But
I mean
on the inside of the
on
tube.
the inside of the tube, like this. Literally,
No.
what's in front of you? If we walked that,
But it's two dimensions we're talking about here.
Yeah, you see, saying if we're instead of this way,
right?
going
If we were to go to
backwards,
ninewards,
if we were to go laterally
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
instead of
big is
going more towards yesterday,
Right.
Yeah.
staying on the same plane and going around.
I'm talking
how,
on a pu-
how much around
Exactly.
is-
On a purely
yes.
theoretical
what's our
level.
diameter?
Yeah,
of
the
this
diameter of the
tube?
tube.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, how big's our town?
Right.
How
Yeah.
tall is our town?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
a sector of
Oh,
the.
see, I feel like I'm going to
course.
come up. I feel like I'm going to come up with something here, and it's going to mess with the physics of my world building.
I'm not
going
going
to
to put you on the spot, but here's the reason.
What
why.
what do you want to do with this information?
Well, here's why I'm posing that question. Is it unusual that we haven't run into any other scavengers? Because I feel like constantly
No, that
people
is-
are coming out doing things.
Oh, not this far.
Yeah.
And we went out. We went out when they're not normally out because we.
Well, also at the point where you are now, you're deeper in than where just normal patrols go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one comes out this far unless it's for a specific purpose.
Okay.
I can't wait
Sometimes-
till we find our bikes.
Because really, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, if there are others, is there another group that's over there that just like we're just not aware of them because this place is so massive, or if it's
It's certainly possible.
right.
And now you're limited by what you can only see about 100 feet.
What our elven eyes can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the Ariadne are probably closer to the elves. Or are the Reborn the elves? I don't know.
That's true. We're infinite and eternal, and very beautiful.
Could go either way.
Yes. Okay.
I think the Ariadne are probably more elf-like physiologically, but of the two.
While when I see Argon collecting themselves, I just say I kind of like look and make sure nobody else is paying attention, and I'm like I wasn't trying to be too hard on you back there. We need to be honest with each other. All of us need to be honest with each other, or we will not survive, because the Sentinels didn't survive. So let's just be careful. That's all I'm asking.
I understand. I'm. This is farther than I've been. It's farther than a lot of my family I think's gone, except for like Uncle Xenon. But
I love that they're all noble gases. Is your whole family named after noble gases? That's beautiful.
but yeah, Uncle Xenon, he likes to push himself and go out further and further.
Well, I got good news for you. When I tell the story, you were amazing the entire time. All we got to do is live.
Mhm. All
We
right.
got this. We go together.
Zoom, zoom.
We go
Go
together.
together.
Now, your navigation in many cases is based on landmarks and what you know or conjecture. At this point, none of that really applies.
Okay.
So you can, in this case, but you do have your ability for chance,
Mhm.
right?
If it's absolutely necessary, I can spend an XP and Dells have an intrusion called Serendipitous Landmark, where
Excellent.
When it seems like we really need to know, we'll keep it in mind.
Yeah.
I have magic sense.
Yeah.
Can I magically echolocate?
Yes.
Since we don't have navigation, basically
you can
look
certainly
for where there
try.
are thicker bundles of threads.
Okay. Of fate.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's less fate where you die. There's
Yeah.
more fate where you live.
Sure.
Where is it thick?
So yeah,
Yep.
make an intellect task,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna say, do you have stuff that would reduce difficulty on this? You probably do, right?
I have my identifying. This comes from the mystical description of sense magic, where I can sense it
All right.
even in places where it's not obvious, and that's like an action.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
that's
thing.
totally this.
So I'm kind of like very slow. I'm not trying to find a path, but kind of slowly like magnifying glass kind of thing.
Now,
Not in the literal sense.
in
but-
this case, because of your chance related thing, Argon, I'm going to say that if Argon, if you help the Guardian in this case, that would be another asset.
Yep, I got you, boo.
So now I'm correct in how I'm handling this, right? You can apply multiple assets to one.
Yes, you can have 2 levels of skill training, and then you can have 2 from assets, and that's all we get here.
Yeah.
There are no assets from superpowers, and then effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't have superpowers.
All right.
Yet.
So you can take what would be a formidable task down to a challenging task.
You
So,
use words,
yeah.
but what are the numbers, please?
You need a target of 15 or higher.
Oh, frack in a stack. All right.
I believe in you.
Is,
I like challenging games. Let's do this. And sometimes failure is interesting.
can my navigation apply as well?
I'm basically.
Okay, yeah.
And I explained why the navigation won't work in this case, but
Okay.
your flip a coin, go with your instinct is what I'm giving you for the chance thing, and that's how
All
you were
right, so
able
it's
to help them.
15, and then an asset, and then...
No, that's the final. It would have been a 21 otherwise.
All right, I will spend a level of effort.
Okay, so I can drop it down to a
12 or better.
a 12 or better.
12.
Excellent. Right on the money.
Woo-woo.
All right. So
Effort down.
Called it.
That's all day.
the limit on what you can that you can see from the light source and all that is not a barrier to you.
Yeah.
No, I have a lot of edge.
Oh.
So I'm good. I've only been spending 1
They
point.
got
I have a lot of bad shit,
Oh.
so I'm good.
Edge.
It's a lot
Oh,
cheaper.
I heard
I
bad
thought that was
shit.
your
I still
total
like
spend.
it. I like that too.
They got a lot of
My
edge.
discount.
Same
Oh.
thing.
Because I did my
They're
Very
edge.
edgy.
Very
you have an edge of 2 for intellect test?
Because I start with intellect 1, I
Yeah.
got up to 4 XP, and the first thing I did was to add an extra edge as part of the advancement track.
Oh,
so
so-
all of my effort spends cost me 1 per level of intellect effort. I still have to pay full price on might and speed.
Yeah. That's excellent. All right, so yeah, you rely on your other senses and in your connection to the data sphere, and you follow paths of light that you can see in your mind, and they lead off to what appears to be a sort of set of biomechanical ramps. You can see 3 off in the distance. One at about 1 o'clock, and another one at about 10 o'clock, and another one at about 5 o'clock.
Ramping coreward ramping rimward.
Both, like spiraling deeper, but they seem to they seem to raise in altitude, so they bring you closer to the center of the tube
Coreward.
as they yeah, exactly. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. All right, yeah. So you think any of those 3 would definitely be safer than being at ground level.
Okay. Is there a check I can make to see if I can sense threads? This is just like a gimme. Give me an answer.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. What's the difficulty? Because it's gonna be freaking bonkers.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's a 5
All right. I'll spend another level of effort.
to bring it down to a 12.
16.
Okay. You got a good feel. You got a good feeling about the 1 o'clock
All
ramp.
right.
So
Yo, 1 o'clock.
While the
ramp.
Guardian's doing their awesome stuff and Argon's catching his breath, I'm gonna teach
Their breath?
Their breath. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna teach these 2 about what I learned about bugs.
I'm actually incredibly interested in the
You're
in the
quite
bug
the
language.
expert
I'm
from
like,
what
so what happened? Yeah, right.
Yeah. So like I went over there and they were all like, "What?" And I was like, "Nah, it's cool. I'm a bug." And they were like, oh, "Okay, cool." And we like pushed dirt together. So it was like they kind of it's very like this, like they move like this,
So you have,
and
like,
they
dirt
sort of
buddies.
shimmy. Yeah. So like, yeah, that's how bugs move.
But you were able to communicate with them, huh? Sort of, kind of. They didn't eat your face.
Yes.
it was with body language. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's cool. I'm a friend. So yeah.
So are you all proceeding in that direction of the ramp?
When they're ready to
bugs.
move, yeah.
It's just totally...
Little bugs.
So that's cool. Anyway.
That way.
Yeah, when Argon's ready, we go.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah, that just takes an action.
My recovery is just an action for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an action. Very quick.
Yes, definitely keep moving.
Don't you have something where your first 2 recoveries are only an action, right?
Oh, rapid recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, rapid recovery. And you haven't had to use one
no,
yet,
it's,
but
I have
never
not.
says die.
just want to remind
Oh,
you
yeah.
you've got that.
Yes.
Very cool.
Combat
And it's
prowess.
D6 plus tier.
All right, in this case,
so
the
I-
Guardian is going to have to go
One
first. Because
Yes.
they're the one who can see this
Good.
path. And for the rest of you, it just feels like you're just wandering into the darkness. And then the almost featureless emptiness of the founders' glyphs and panels. Most of them are filled in with dust. You can't even make out their patterns look degraded by time. You feel, considering how you've only been out here a few hours, but you all feel like exhausted. You feel like a lot of time has passed, like a lot has happened. But you make your way further, and as a group, you make it to the base of this ramp, and you can see that it seems to almost grow out of the side of from the ground up, and with repeated ribs and this sort of what looks almost like an organic sort of skeletal structure.
Like chitinous?
Yeah, very much. But the ramp is it's wide enough for maybe 2 people to walk side by side, and you start making your way up this ramp as it curls coreward and deeper into the darkness. And then you see, as you proceed along it, shapes start to emerge from the edge of your light.
Like moving shapes?
No,
Oh,
No.
okay.
no.
Okay, good.
It's like, what?
Same
There
thing
are-
before, I'm guessing.
There are
I thought I was
shapes
thinking.
that look like reborn architecture, but they're jutting out at very strange angles. You can see that some of them are punctuated with repeated these sort of square or rectangle openings. It's like the style of reborn windows.
Are they? How far are they from the ramp? Like, are they? Can we just see them, or are we like, oh, can we touch them?
You can't touch them. You can't physically reach them from the ramp, but they are within 100. Some of the points of them are within 100 feet, and you can see outlines of them with your sight.
Sight beyond sight.
Your sight beyond sight, yeah, and it.
It's like you're saying sight beyond sight.
That was what I heard too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay.
Yeah, well, I said it as well.
All
yeah.
the single pathways. All the single pathways.
They're
Excuse me, that's my job.
they're jutting out at these crazy angles. It looks like it's almost like a mockery of reborn architecture. Yeah.
What is this place?
Yeah.
Are there any like stones or pebbles or anything similar to that on the ground?
Not on the ramp that you're on.
Okay.
So to be clear, these are like full-blown structures, or just kind of like buildings we could enter, or just like spires
Is
and
this
ruins?
like?
They look like buildings you could enter.
You could jump like 100 feet
If
away.
you could jump like 100 feet.
I mean, that hasn't stopped us up until now.
Is this like? This is the village of yesterday.
Well, wait, if
These structures are so big that you would have, if they had been existing when you passed this point, when the village of today migrated past this point before, you would have noticed it.
Yeah.
Are they
Well-
below us too? Like the ramp goes over them, or
Yes, some of them grow at angles from they seem to be like
Let's see if we can
assuming
find
they're
a point
growing
that
from the
gets
actual
Let's see if we can find a
floors,
point that gets
you
closer
know.
to them.
if there was any survivors from the last expedition, they might be like trying to lay low in one of these buildings.
I'm saying, is there like space below this ramp? Is what I'm asking. Are we like elevated high above the
Do you want to try to
surface?
swing to something?
Yes.
Okay. There, you don't have enough room to swing to one here.
No, I just want to see below.
Okay.
Okay, anchor me! And then I just jump off.
All right. You see the rope. You see Nico disappear over the ledge.
I can like grab him around the waist, like
Just doing this.
The spider cord is petering out, and then it goes taut,
And I'm holding on to
and
it.
you onto it, and you swing.
Not holes.
You swing. Actually, make me a speed defense.
Okay, and do I get any bonuses for that?
Acting without consequence.
Yeah, I will. I'll reduce it from 1 step.
I feel like I'm pretty used to you doing these kind of things.
I got a 6.
Oh, that is not enough.
Is there any way that I can be like an asset since I'm like...
Yeah,
It
that we're
happened
both-
too fast. It happened too fast. So you take 4 points of damage to your might pool
Okay.
as you smack into one of the whatchamacallit, the sort of striated pillars that's supporting the ramp that you're on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worth it.
So you slam into it and you're sort of disoriented, and then you spin.
Whoa.
You spin a little bit, and you see. You can see that this reborn architecture. It seems to be almost like it grew at crazy angles from the floor.
So if I smacked into one, then I can I'm on one, right?
No. You
The
smacked
pylon
into
of the
part of the support structure for the ramp.
Yeah,
Okay.
50-foot rope can't get to the 100-foot away thing.
Oh, right.
But you acted without consequence.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, there was a little bit of consequence.
So, but I can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant my feet on the structure that I'm on,
Mhm.
and sort of like look out. So I'm just basically just looking straight down and
Okay.
around, standing kind of perpendicular to the support beam.
Okay. So yeah, you can see the structures more clearly now that your light source also has about 100-foot range. So yeah, you can see more detail of these buildings.
Okay.
These reborn buildings. But yeah, they seem to be growing at very strange angles. You can see some of them at their bases have doors, like the reborn door.
Is it growing?
They look like they've kind of grown at. You've seen depictions of what the ancients' architecture was like, and buildings were made to go straight up. And some of these are at crazy angles, or even there's some where it looks like one has kind of grown through another, like they're melded at unusual angles.
Oh wow! I'm gonna call out, "Hello, ancestors!"
Actually, when I hear her call
loud
out,
as
I also
possible.
am like, "Hello!
Shut up!
Is anybody out there?"
Okay.
No.
Did I sense any danger?
You would be used to you hear some echoing of what you but it's less than you would expect.
Oh. But no.
Almost as if
danger or
your
anything?
words are being stolen.
We have like some
The
weird
sound is being drawn.
portal thing. You said
I
that
think we can get to the buildings if we keep.
Levy, this is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna tug on the rope.
Hana!
I'm just gonna start pulling up Nico.
I
Alright.
do help.
I love that the you have like no strength and you're like, hey, let me.
All right.
I don't have no strength. It's just not my thing.
So are you going to continue on the ramp?
Yes.
So you follow the ramp, and eventually you get to a point where
Okay, Nico.
you're relatively close to what the core of the tunnel would be. And as you get closer to it, you feel like it's strange. Your body at times sometimes feels lighter and sometimes feels heavier.
Oh.
Sometimes even in between, you'll take 2 or 3 steps and you feel like, oh, that was easy.
Do I recognize this at all from like?
It
The
feels like to
arena?
you, yeah, from Seeker's Bola, there are areas where by design the gravity has been messed with as an obstacle.
And so we're getting closer to the core,
Yeah.
which means if we were in today, we'd be closer to the light of tomorrow.
The beam that's
Yeah.
refracted by the light of tomorrow. Yeah.
So this probably affects the rope as well. Like the rope between us, there's times where it's a little bit more floaty, and other times where it's a bit more.
It seems to always it does seem to have less mass at times. Yeah. As you proceed a little further, you can see off in the distance, and this gets you very excited, that one of these buildings is within touching distance.
Yes!
So.
Boop.
You boop it?
No, I boop her.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It means you now have 2 more armor.
Ooh.
And wait, I have an edge of 2.
Oh,
there's
yeah, that-
booping.
Oh, okay. So I actually
you feel warmth and safety.
question then. The
You've been
damage I took
successfully booped.
before gets reduced by my armor, right? Or no?
Mhm. Physical damage got soaked, intellect damage.
It did, so it was 4, so you only took 1 from that.
Boom.
Your filter skin soaked up the rest.
My nose is way less hurt than I thought.
Yeah, you banged it and it hurt. 10 minutes later, you're running off again like a 10-year-old.
Well, it's more like the
But now
goggles
you
and
have
parts of your
one
hood got
like a-
smashed into your face a little bit. So
Tough
maybe around the
10-year-old.
orbital bone, you're a little
Yeah.
sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go run at the building.
Next, I run after her. If she takes off running, I take off running.
Boop!
I'm
You
gonna-
boop, you boop him as well?
Yes.
Oh, hey, all right. Hey!
Well, I mean, how
It's
far
only
are
a
we
minute
from
of
the
boop,
thing?
y'all.
Yeah. You have
Plenty.
about a minute in the boop space.
Plenty.
I'm gonna follow. I guess we should check out this. I haven't ever seen.
You have not.
We're going to see many things we haven't seen that
Maybe-
you, if any, have seen.
Is there a door that I can reach?
Has Uncle Xenon been this far?
He certainly never described anything like this.
Is there a door I can reach?
Well, I'm going to say Nico gets there first.
Sure.
Yes.
So what does Nico want to do? You're
I wanna go
within
inside.
touching range of the edge of the building, and you
Uh-huh.
think you could get your hand on the edge of the windowsill, basically, of this skyscraper, in our words, that's jutting out over it. Do you want to try to
Yes.
grab onto it?
Yes.
Okay. So you reach out and touch it, and as you do, your hand comes away with a chunk, and it's all just loose drit that pours out of your hand. And then you see, in an instant, the entire structure turns to dust and falls. And it was like hundreds of feet. There's you can see as the dust doesn't just fall normally. There are certain pockets in the air where it falls and collects
Of course.
into spherical shapes, and in some places into rings
Right.
that are now floating and turning in the air.
I just touched it. I just touched it.
No, I saw. You didn't do anything. She didn't do anything.
It's not her fault.
So maybe let's not go into the buildings, Nico.
Well, I
They
mean,
don't look very
obviously.
structurally
Yeah,
safe.
I feel like that is a valid conclusion to draw. Yeah, thanks, Polito.
Oh.
So yeah.
You didn't pull on it hard either. Like it was, you had a light touch.
It's a sandcastle.
Hey, at least you didn't just jump onto it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed too, actually.
It's like the macrocosmic version of those rings we saw earlier.
I was hoping to find something.
We all are.
Is that normal for ghosts of buildings to coalesce out of dust?
Have you been out here? Have I been out here this far? You keep asking me these things like I know them.
Well, word is, this is your thing. This isn't our thing. This is your thing.
All right. Well, let's just remember who had the grand idea of getting us here, or at least me.
First of all, you're welcome. Second of all,
We're
I'm
gonna start
just
attacking
trying
Argon over
I
here.
to
walk off. I
clarify.
keep walking.
Okay.
Oh, frat. No.
All right.
We
I-
should probably all.
I do want to make the grab for the call. No.
Okay. Now,
Enough running off.
so do you want to do a pose? Do you want to do a pose
Yeah,
check?
no, I just
Happily. I do not. No splitting. Not here.
Okay. So
Can't.
in this case, is it might for both of you?
Yep. And
Yeah.
I have nothing helping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might make the grab and they're too fast, but
Yeah.
Um,
Or if they're pulling too hard.
any
Yeah.
reason of failure.
I'll
But yeah,
spend that effort.
I will not.
16.
All right, you take it.
Okay.
We can keep walking, but I mean, yeah.
All right.
Sleep.
Argan's
So you
right.
succeed. Yeah. You can see they wrench free of your grasp and keep moving forward. Are the rest of you kind of following in
Yeah.
general?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna follow. I mean, like right behind Argon.
Yeah, I'm not letting them get far behind.
All right.
Argon's right. There's nothing for us here. Let's just keep going.
So you proceed. After a while, this ramp seems to have reached the center core area, and it straightens out into just a completely straight thing that seems to be following the core.
My powers are useless here.
Were the other two that we saw, did they ever meet up with this?
No, you haven't seen them. They have not intersected or even come close enough to enter your limited range of field of view from your light sources.
So two things to be clear. If roughly the ramp we're on is where the beam would be if we were home. So the ramp is like analogous to the beam, at least loosely?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any like rocks or things like on like detritus, or is this like fairly smooth? Like any kind of rubble or anything?
Pristine.
Yeah, I was just about to ask the same
But
question.
it's still shaped in structure like chitinous? Like
The ramp.
the ramp itself?
The support structure and stuff for it looks like ribs.
At this point, how does the support structure go to just one point?
It leads directly into the darkness.
No, I mean,
Or
because we're
down.
We're
yeah. It's like a
down.
bridge now. You're walking along what
Okay.
seems like a bridge.
I think we should just keep going forward.
Yeah.
Just keep
Okay.
moving forward.
Good option.
Push into the darkness.
Because I was like, what in my head, and like if there are poles, things to holding it up to the greater ring that we're in,
Yeah.
the tube, if it's always to one point, or if there are ones that go this way, ones that go this way, ones that go this
No,
way.
they're all going towards
More
6
like
o'clock, basically.
Connections and
Towards
support
6 o'clock.
structures.
Yeah, yeah.
Because gravity's fuckity.
But all of the connections go towards the
Fuckity
same
gravity.
Fuck it, the bait.
Yes.
Because if we look at this in a plane and it goes out at degrees, they're all going to the same
Right.
degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're in a tube,
Mhm.
and you're walking along a bridge that's in the center
Center.
of this tube.
Mm.
And I mean, it curves
Mhm.
around the ring, following
Yes,
the core,
yeah,
but that's
the-
beyond your field of
but
vision.
the
To you, it
supports-
seems straight.
Yeah, but the
Right.
supports always go to the same degree.
Down. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, you continue along it. The wind picks up, and it's howling. It's to the point where like you're having to push. Like it is more. You can tell that you're moving more slowly because you're walking into this radioactive wind. So at this point, I do want to say anybody who is wearing below a 3 protection, like the two of you have filter skins, are all right. And your protection is what, like a 2? Is what I said it was?
It's a 2, but I also have 1 from ward, so I get 3 by adding the 2 of them together.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's one of the rare cases where armor is cumulative in this case. But here so anybody who is at a 2 at this point takes 3 points of damage to their might pool from the small amounts of radiation that have been leaking into your.
Does my natural armor stack with my filter skin for this?
Not for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but if they take 3 points, they're actually only taking 1 point.
No, that's on top of the armor.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Like, are you okay? You guys don't look too good.
I'm using the armor rating as also kind
No,
of
you
like
have an armor
a
rating too.
anti-radiation.
Didn't you just say I had a 3 at the beginning of this?
You had
We do.
you had the people who have a filter skin have 3.
I don't have a.
Your cobbled together thing is equivalent to Argon's, which are a 2. So you both take 3
Six.
points
Yeah,
of.
I technically have 3 armor, but one of mine's only is.
It's to do with your body,
Yeah.
your altered body.
It's your body.
Your body.
Yes, body.
Yeah.
Your will break along with your body.
Yeah.
Along with your
Are
body.
So,
you okay, Lefty?
You know your suit
That's fine.
is
Yeah.
good, but you're proceeding deeper into literally dangerous
Into the
zone
dark.
now. Now, as you walk forward on, do you just continue proceeding along until new information presents itself?
Yeah.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
constantly be, head on a swivel, always looking for
Yeah.
danger and such.
I'm occasionally gonna be basically like yodeling out into the dark,
All right.
just every so
I-
often.
I'm just walking
Taking
on
you in all the
silently.
ambushes.
Yeah.
Ever.
Wait.
Now,
there was
also on a psychological level, this is based on how you would respond to this individually. but you feel like more impatient,
I resist
more
mental
angry
effects.
as you go deeper into this into the darkness.
Does my resisting mental effects thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got that too.
Okay.
I do not.
You have that too? I
Yeah.
thought that mine was because of the never say die.
I don't know why.
You can
I
sometimes
have
get
it.
the same
I'm just
thing from
saying I
different.
have it.
Oh, that's dope.
It's possible.
Well, Nico, just following after your brethren.
Because I'm my own person.
Yes, you are.
I think in this case, it's probably particularly troubling for you because you're able to see the sort of the data sphere level of this stuff, and it is.
It's pretty easy to notice how I've been getting more short-tempered.
Yeah, like you just feel like everything around you is just getting more and more evil and more corrupt. Like the very physics of this place seem to be. You feel like you're walking into the the mouth of a dangerous animal. Like you somehow being digested.
Guardian, we were told there was one survivor from the Sentinel mission that came out looking for your predecessor. Did they say anything about what happened when they came back?
Why are you talking to a cup?
Because I have a mask on.
Yeah.
It's
And also Noxus'
acting.
Bane.
Method.
You feel it.
Now,
Do you feel
That would be weird.
Josh?
so here's the thing. Y'all decided to not try to seek out the Sentinel in question before you left. So
That's why Noxus is asking
I just
me.
didn't know if the
that
Guardian
ship
knows.
has sailed.
I know. I don't know.
However,
They know.
in rule terms, if you wanted to, you could make a spend to say that you had talked to that Sentinel.
Have a flashback.
What if I do a spend and have a random person come and help us out?
I also have.
I also
But there's no
have
random people. I was all. I'm gonna have
No, it says-
like
it
the
says-
fucking
That's a
Fraggles.
player
are gonna-
intrusion.
Here's
That is
No,
a
no.
player intrusion.
No, me too. I can do it. But
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
We
I'm like Gobo Fraggles
all
gonna
have
come rolling in with Uncle Traveling Mad and be like, so let me tell you what
You
happened.
don't want to?
Rock.
No, I don't have one right now.
Oh, okay. All
No,
right. So yeah,
it's-
that didn't
it's-
happen.
No, it's just if it,
Potentially.
well, we could theoretically run into a straggler, but no,
Yeah,
that's
out of
you're
no
all
way.
you're all like friendly NPC.
Story-wise, that
It's
doesn't-
Hana. What? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's.
So as you
Go.
proceed further along this road, eventually, Guardian, you notice what seems like a bubble of concentrated corruption on the path directly ahead.
How large?
The bubble covers the entirety of the ramp. It actually extends beyond it, and it seems like a point suspended in space, a spherical field.
It's literally the dirty bubble.
Yeah. And you're probably about 300 feet from it right now.
A spherical field,
The center point of it would be on the road ahead of you. So it encompasses,
and the diameter is approximately.
let's say, 50 feet.
Do you tell us about this?
Yes.
Is it moving?
No.
Make me, make me an intellect task check, and you can use any assets you have for. I'll give you one for mystical and another one for your understanding of Numenera.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
Let's see. Normally it would be difficulty 6, but it's reduced down to a 4 for you from those two.
I'll spend a level of effort to get it down to a
Or actually, hold on. I'm going to reduce it one more for circumstances which I will explain later.
All right. I will spend a level of effort. It will not be difficulty 2.
Okay. So you need a 6 or better?
Good, because I got a 6.
You
Right
have
on
what
those.
you have what you
We
need
don't talk
when you
about the
need
numbers.
it.
We don't.
Yeah, don't curse my dice.
Yep.
Don't mess with that. All right. You sense there's the signature of the previous guardian is related to this field. But it seems like it's somehow been corrupted. It's a mixture of the previous guardian's power and something very other.
Do you relay any of this?
You can probably see me open my mouth like I'm about to say something and do it again. And shake my head because I don't even know how to words because I have an inability in social stuff. So
Oh.
telling kids about this level of danger is not a thing I can do.
Yeah, you've broken even because of me. You're not currently hindered.
Yeah, character flavor.
Yeah.
I am gonna run up to the Guardian. And I'm just, Hold on, I have to. Oh,
But we're friends. You can talk to me.
I'm gonna run up to the Guardian and I'm just gonna grab their hands and I'm gonna say, Rhaenys, we go together.
I don't know what went together with the previous Guardian.
Well, unlike the previous Guardian, you're not alone. Guardian, you're not alone.
I just put an arm around Nico and boop. A bubble again. These go for a minute, but also because I have enough edge, they're free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the bubble visible?
Not to you.
Right. So we actually don't know what's bothering you. You just sort of stopped for a second.
Yeah, you could probably hear that I alluded to something about the previous Guardian up ahead. I think I said that, doesn't
I don't.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh god.
Well, but then 3 of us also have danger sense. Are we like feeling any tinglies?
Yes.
Sick.
I don't. Hello.
Wait.
Guardian.
I assumed that was not to me.
No, I'm like yelling ahead.
Y'all were looking at me like, I know what he's talking about. It's not about me.
Well, did
But
the bubble
activate.
move?
No.
We don't actually know about the bubble.
They told us about the bubble.
But did you?
They just didn't tell us why they were more upset about the bubble.
Let's say that in a moment later I told you about the bubble.
Okay.
Thank you, Nico.
Sensing said danger. I'm just gonna activate that shock weapon on my glaive.
Well,
I never
you can only do that one time, ever.
It's for 28 hours though.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Seems legit.
You fire it up.
Oh,
You can hear a low hum from the blades of your double-bladed glaive.
what? That's dope.
Yeah. You don't get too close. You might shock yourself.
Are you gonna move forward as a group?
Yeah.
All right.
Aye.
When you get within 50 feet of it and your light reveals it to the rest of you,
Yeah.
you see a portion of the bridge is completely black.
Oh.
Black is black times infinity.
Yeah, ultra black.
The same color as the buildings?
No, those were more of a kind of dusty
Yeah, they were
color.
dust and schmutz.
It's only so much color that we can perceive in this level of darkness anyway.
This is
Yeah.
corruption.
That's true. Yeah, and it's almost like reflective. It's or not reflective, like absorbent, like light absorbent. It's so dark, and the surface for 50 feet of the ramp that you can see ahead of you. You're coming right up to the edge of it now, and you can see your light sources almost seem to be kind of pulled in towards it. But you can see a shape that looks that's in the center of it. It looks almost like it's a vaguely humanoid shape that's fused into the ramp itself, so that only a few parts of it are at the surface.
The old guardian?
And you recognize the face of the previous guardian.
Guardian, can you hear us? Hello,
I don't think they can
Not
hear
anymore.
Guardian. Look, I'm not looking just for reactions from the Guardian, but if the sphere interacts in any way when I talk to it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like a sphere to you, but it has been described that way.
Right.
You're only seeing the part where it interacted with the path.
So to me, it just looks like a janked up Guardian and schmutz on the path.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say janked up, it's like you can only see like a bit of a hand in a claw-shaped and part of the face just melded, like it was forced down with incredible force and then somehow just melded into the ground. And it seems like the field around it looks like something perhaps that the Guardian created as a sort of countermeasure that was corrupted and turned.
I'd like to look
turned against
we do
her.
see the black.
Yeah.
I'd like to look under the bridge, actually. I'm not going to, climb under the bridge,
No,
but just be like...
Get on your belly. Yeah.
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 You get down and you poke your head over the edge, and you can see.
Decapitation.
Every time.
You see the pillars and supports of that part of the bridge are also black.
Oh god.
But only for like 25 feet.
Yeah.
Because it's a 50-foot diameter sphere.
Yeah.
Guardian, do you know what this is?
You are completely sure that it is.
A corruption of a kind that is only seen yesterday, I suppose. I've never been here, so I don't know.
Can we cross without getting corrupted?
I've never been here before, so I don't know. It seems
You're really
I look
good
at the
this
Guardian.
stuff.
ill-advised.
I'm.
You're still alive.
Let me.
What?
Oh.
Did you say they're still alive?
No, he asked whether I was any good at this Guardian stuff, and since the goal is to keep you alive,
Oh, okay.
I'm doing my best.
I'm gonna take out my
I
knife
can-
and I'm gonna cut off some beads from my hair
Mm-hmm.
and throw it.
Someone's got to try to interact with the
Let's
object or
see
figure
what
out how to get
happens.
around it.
I was
Yeah.
like, I can repair my hand. I'm gonna.
Okay. When you throw,
No.
you pull some of your beads through out of your hair and throw them into the radius of this area, and you can see they don't fall normally. Like they seem like they're kind of suspended in air for a moment, and then they slap down to the surface, and it starts to absorb them. They start to.
How far is this bridge? How long is this bridge? The corruption.
The area that's corrupted is 50 feet across.
Can you undo
The Guardian
this?
is 25. The remains of the Guardian are 25 feet into it in the
So
center.
the gravity seems to be
Wibbly
Temperamental.
wobbly.
Fuckity.
Also
It's
tell
It's
you what.
fuckety. It's quite fuckety.
Fuck it, the gravity.
Fuckity gravity.
Noxus, the previous Guardian was far more experienced and adept than I. It would be hubris to assume that I can undo what was their end.
So what do we do?
Is there any way that I could?
How far apart are the pylons?
I'll say there's probably maybe about 10 feet between them.
I'm gonna use my swing and see if I can hit the Guardian.
Your sling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, all indicators that this person's dead. Like, I tried to talk to him and I've seen no...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the small polished stone, which is actually I'm going to say it's something that's grown. It's a nut of some sort that's grown off of one of these plants that grows on the web, and it's hardened into something.
I painted it, though.
You painted it?
Yeah, totally painted it.
Okay. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
You fire it off, and you're not. You don't fire it directly right over home plate. You're a bit off to the side, but as it approaches the Guardian's body, it seems like it's almost pulled towards it, and the sling stone stops and starts to again. Seems like it's melting into the surface of the bridge.
When I looked underneath the bridge, were there any indicators of anything being pulled up towards it, or any indicators of anything having come through it? You said it was black, but was it like is stuff being sucked up? Or are the Guardian's legs underneath? Anything like that?
No.
And we can, when he looked over it only extends so far down the pylons, yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
25 feet down. So
We can go down.
if we could figure out how to
cross
stabilize
between the
ourselves
pylons.
crossing between the pylons under the bridge, we could avoid the sphere itself.
Well,
But I can't think of a simple way to do that. I'm not a physical adept.
there's also whatever the Guardian was trying to defend against that is probably still around, unless this was a suicide strategy.
So you said there's a bridge and then there's like things that we can jump onto.
No,
Sorry?
the things, the structures underneath the pylon.
Okay. Is there,
Can I see this
love
drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Very good.
Clarify.
For those of you at home, I have drawn a straight line across, little lines down for pylons, a little bitty stick figure on the bridge, and a big circle that ate the pylons and ate the bridge, and inside it says death.
How far
Yes.
between...
I feel like
That stuff is still physically there within that sphere. It's just blackened.
So
Oh
How
yeah,
far,
no,
how
but
far in
it's
between
death.
are the
Yeah.
pylons?
It reads better visually.
You're
10
right.
10 feet?
Mhm.
Let's just climb down the pylons and then swing across.
they're also corrupted though, aren't they?
No,
But
only so
if
far
we can
down.
get far down, but we would have to be
Theoretically,
able
we
to
could go
stop.
down
If you climb down 25 feet or more than 25 feet down a pylon, you would then be able to, if you have found some way to go multiple pylons, you could try to go under.
That's
But-
right. We can
basically.
just
With
climb
like a
down.
rope?
What are the
Yeah, and
structures of the pylons?
They are,
That chitin,
yeah, they're sort of chitinous, like smooth, polished, like the carpus of an insect.
This is easy. We'll just climb down. I'll swing across, tie the rope off. You guys go across the rope, and then we'll just
but we
leapfrog.
have to manage to secure ourselves to the pylons in the interim. That's
True.
With
That was-
hands, I don't understand.
They're very
You're very good at
smooth.
climbing,
They're very
Nico. You
smooth.
forget this.
Also, except for potential death bugs.
Your filter skin too. It has things like on the hands. There are things almost like scales that help you.
can we spider
climb.
barb?
Oh,
this?
cool.
People in a filter skin, you would get a you could get a bonus to
So
climbing
them
checks
too?
on smooth
Oh.
surfaces.
Oh, great.
Does mine have that as well or no?
I'm
They
gonna
have
say
a
I'm gonna
hook,
say
I would say I'm sharing.
you're
they have-
wearing gloves that do.
Okay.
And their
Uh,
delve hook, or does
Yeah.
that help?
Also, question, theoretically, whether or not we want to do it, going all the way down the bridge to the floor and just walking is
Yep.
also possible,
That's
right?
the other option at play, Naxos.
But we don't know what's down there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to climb that many feet back up when we need to. We don't have much climbing equipment.
Is there a way that I could just pole vault across this?
That would be...
You'd have to-
But the gravity is all fucked, right?
So either it's really
hypothetically,
easy or
it
it's
could
going to
be-
kill you
it could-
instantly.
yeah,
It's-
that's a 50-50
you are not the
for
risk
me.
taker kid here.
No.
I actually grabbed this one. Right when he
I know,
says
right?
that, I physically grab Nico when the idea of vaulting.
The idea
This
germinates.
is my
Yeah.
thinking though. I have a glaive they can use as a pole vault. I have the 50 feet of rope. If the gravity is on my side and I'm very good at acrobatic kind of things, this should be simple for me.
Well,
But that doesn't help the rest of us. Even if let's
But
assume
if I was
it works.
able to
But you
pull
don't
you
have a-
over,
If you were able to
it's
get over to
up
the
and
other
over.
side, you could create an anchor point that when people
With the-
jumped off, they could try to at least
with the-
swing
the rope.
around and then climb up.
Or it doesn't work and you die instantly. And I point at the mangled up guardian. They were
Or-
pretty good at this too.
yes,
So-
but either we do nothing and
We
we
can
die
go down-
here,
down
or
and
we
around.
risk it and
I
we
can-
can live.
I can climb, so I can climb down
Down and around.
Why can't we all just climb down and then go 50 feet
Down
and
and
climb
around.
back up?
and
You do
secure
that too.
We're figuring out how to do that.
secure 30 feet down.
We just hook the
On
same
the
rope
pole.
to everybody and we're all hooked together.
That's no.
We don't have enough securement points right now. That's what we're trying to
So
figure
I
out. Do you
climb
have any
down.
ideas?
30
Yeah,
feet.
we just tie the rope to each other and then climb down.
So where's this coming? Where's this?
What is going on?
Sounds are coming from the darkness below and ahead.
Anybody else hear that?
Below? When you say below,
Actually, no, from all around, basically.
Oh,
Awesome.
sick.
The same sound as before or a new horrifying sound in the darkness?
A new horrifying sound in the darkness.
Oh, great. Cool.
But so it's coming from like below on the ground, below the bridge as well, or just
Yes.
from the. Or we could just hang out here.
And see what the Guardian gave their life fighting.
All right. So if y'all don't start doing something soon, I'm
So-
gonna force things along with.
Yep.
what-
Yeah,
That's-
let's
Go
just
down and
climb
climb.
down.
That's
Go
my
down and
idea.
climb.
That's what I.
That is what you said.
We
That's,
go
that's
down.
definitely what you said. Down and climb.
Let's go.
Because I can use my hook to move between pillars and then tie points at each pillar, so that we have ropes.
Let's do it.
They're agreeing with you. Yes. That's
All right.
we're doing
Let's
that
do
thing.
it.
All right. So let's break this down into a series of tasks to accomplish this. Describe to me what you're doing.
So, I'm thinking me and Nico climb down.
Mm-hmm.
Nico stays at one end. We tie the rope on one pillar. I use the hook to get across to the next pillar. Tie a point. Over point. Over point. At that point, I should be past the barrier, and then we can climb up.
Okay.
If the rope is 50 feet and we're tying it around these pillars, wouldn't it only go half the way?
You have enough to
yes, but we can just do 30 feet of the way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
untie as we go. And
But
then
I have
30 feet
rope.
and it's
I
fine.
have rope as well.
to
okay.
move this along. I think there are enough stakes here, and you have a clear idea of what y'all want to
Because
do.
I have rope as well.
Okay,
Um,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So let's first, Nico. Let's have you make your first climbing task.
You can
Okay,
do
so
it.
do I get a bonus for climbing and a bonus for my suit?
You do, and it reduces what would be an intimidating, which is 6, to difficult, which is a 4. So you need a 12 or better on this first part.
I'm gonna. So what's
Acid is on that as
would
well.
this be? What would I be?
Well, I'm actually
spending?
not going to give you that because you have your own part of the plan that you're
Okay.
going to be rolling for next.
So what would I be spending? To
If you want to spend effort, you'd spend. I guess climbing would be might.
might. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've got edge on might.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it makes you cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to spend. You'd only spend. You only have to spend 2 points to get 1 level of effort
Okay.
from that pool.
Oh, so that's okay. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. 18.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah.
Opa.
Yeah.
You're like Mario.
I just fly off. Yeah.
All right.
Good job, Nico.
You
Yeah,
make
I would
it.
be
You make
proud.
it down, and you're in position to so that when Argon follows, they can together. You can create this first rope anchor.
Okay.
So go ahead
I
and
have
make
my asset from my filter skin and my delve hook.
your makeshift
Yeah.
stuff.
Filter skin.
Yeah.
And my delve hook. Because
Mhm.
I'm not trained in climbing.
Okay.
But I do have +1 to my climbing checks because of.
You know what?
getting
This
the-
is
the
risky
20.
enough that I'm going to count it from that as part of your risk thing. So I'll let you reduce it by 3 total
Okay.
from all those.
So
So it
that-
takes something that would normally be a 6, and it takes it down
To a 3.
to a 3.
Okay.
Alright.
So you need a 9 or better.
10.
Excellent.
That is better than a 9.
That is
Accomplished.
that is 9
All right.
plus. Yes.
So Argon, with between your delve hook and your other pieces of equipment, you make it down to where Nico is, and you successfully fasten this part of the rope around the pillar, along with you try to put some wedges into place to keep that from rolling down or any of that sort of thing, but it feels like the
I have a couple bags of tools and parts. So
Yeah.
I can,
as you start using those, and none of them seem to be able to make changes to the structure. It seems like
Okay.
it's made out of some incredibly hard substance, but you get it as tight as you can, and then you end up
No.
wedge some things inside.
I'm going to make sure that it's secure, and I'm going to burn my monoblade.
Well, I was going to say I had another way for you to do it without that,
Okay.
because I know that thing is amazing. And
Yeah.
I
Single-use lightsaber.
yeah. So because you're unable to force some pitons under the rope to
I
support it,
can
instead you
pressure
get it
lock
as
them.
tight as you can, yeah, and then force a wedge-shaped thing that you like. Oh well, I guess I'm not keeping this.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you get to the point where you're pretty confident about how tight it is, and then
Okay.
it's ready for Nico to make the leap, which is a jumping task over to the next pylon.
Yay! But I'm tied to rope though, yeah?
You have the rope attached, clipped to your waist.
Okay, so worst case scenario, it just takes longer
Yeah.
because I'm dangled and then whoop.
It's
You can-
just
you can
me-
always smash
but
into
it's
the-
just,
into
it's
the
just
middle
me,
pillar again.
Me down there to hold the rope at the other end.
Whatever.
No,
let's
it's
jump.
attached. It's attached to the pylon that
Yeah.
you're on.
Okay, so as
So
soon
make
as I see
your
the-
jumping task.
Okay, so what's the? what are we looking at?
Normally this would be a demanding task, but don't you have training in jumping?
I have training in climbing, and being awesome. I think is on there.
Don't glaives get, like I said, a blanket thing for when it comes to some of those physical
Mhm.
things?
Nope, that's a power shift.
No, it's,
That's a
Um,
superhero kind of thing.
All right,
it's
gotcha.
just they
It's
get
trained
one.
in. I've got climbing tasks requiring incredible focus.
You know what? I'm
stealth.
going to say that your filter skin applies to this.
Okay.
Yeah, it has magic parts in it which help assist your muscles in this kind of jump, because I mean it's made for doing stuff like this.
Okay. So,
So-
what am I?
That would reduce it down to it would normally be a difficult task. It's now only a 3.
Okay.
So yeah, you need a 9 or better.
Okay.
Do you want to spend effort?
No.
Okay,
don't know.
go for it. We got to move kind of quickly here because
Okay,
we're
sorry.
getting close
15.
to. All right. So Nico leaps across to the other pillar,
Mhm.
and she slaps against it, and you get your hands on it, and it's like it's a huge pylon, but
I got it. I
yeah.
got it. I got it.
You smack onto it, and then you start inching your way around and connecting the rope. So yeah, now you have the first part across. Now, is your plan for you two to make your way across
And set it up.
and then set it up?
So I'm there secondarily behind Nico to help make sure the ropes are supported, and then in case Nico falls, to be there.
And how are the other people going to cross? You're waiting until you all get across, and then people are going to try to swing?
No, they're going to come
Okay.
down because we're essentially building a rope bridge between the pylons, like from one to the next, so that when they come down.
I guess it's.
We've only got to make it 50 feet.
Yeah,
But a certain amount of the rope is taken up wrapping around
I have
the
a
pipe.
second. I have
there are two
another
ropes.
rope.
You have a second rope.
I have an explorer's pack as well.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. All right. So let's move to the next you are able to you can make a climbing check to get across, and it's a rope. So in this case, it is. I'm going to say it's a demanding task, which is a 3.
Okay.
So you need a 9 or better.
Hook, asset from the rope, and does risk taking still count?
Well, I'm not counting the rope as an asset here because it's just what
Okay.
enables you to do it in the first
Okay,
place.
so hook and
But I'll let you get one for the hook.
does risk taking still count through this?
Yeah, this is pretty
Okay.
crazy.
So I need a 3 or better.
I want you to get the use out of it. I mean,
Okay.
that's part of who your character is, so I want you to be able to get the use out of that. Did you get what you needed?
Yeah. Oh,
No,
wait.
I
Oh,
needed
yeah,
a
you
3 or
reduced it
better.
to 1? Okay, good. Oh, yeah, you got the 2 levels. Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, Brack.
So yeah,
That
Argon.
was a 3.
Yeah, but you use your delve hook, your delve hook in one hand and your transformed limb in the other, and you make your way across. And now we're ready for Nico to make her
I'm jumping.
next jump.
16.
All right.
Boom.
All right. So
Yeah, the minute you're over there, Nico just leaps over the next
and then
pillar.
I'll do the next one.
Okay.
So it's still the same thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
Another one.
Well, at this point, you guys are across. Let's say
Oh, okay.
you're clear of the thing. You just have to make climbing checks to get back up.
Oh, okay. Well, first I'm gonna just. We're set. Lethy, bring him down.
I'm just gonna start. Alright, you first, go down. And then Guardian.
I'm gonna stay.
assuming-
I'm gonna use the rope to get back to the middle one because we have 3 pillars.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in the middle, just hanging out there with my hook
Yeah.
to help people get from one to the next.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stay at the end.
Okay. All right. So Noxos, let's make your first your climb down.
So
What did you get?
Well, alright. So I
Naxos
I
dies.
got a 2, but I have my
Alright.
gloves and I can like spin.
Yeah, you're wearing a filter skin.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't know what benefits I get from all of these like gymnastics they just went through.
Yeah.
Is there any way that I can like throw my hammock that turns into a hammock and like catch him if he falls?
You do have a collapsible hammock number, right?
I think so. Yeah. Let's do that.
Right.
Sick.
Yeah.
Normally that's an oddity, and
Yeah.
it's not supposed to have that kind of effect. But I love the thinking, so I'm going to allow it. So yeah, you
Yeah.
start to fall, Naxos.
Yes.
You're getting close, and then
Yeah.
you see Prolethea like with a perfect spiral, like throw this orb, which connects and erupts into a sort of hammock, and then you fall.
Yeah.
And now there's a
You're
hammock
swinging.
between the first 2 pillars.
Like,
Yeah.
you're my friend.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Noxos, now it's time for you to make your climb.
So to say, hopefully,
You get it reduced by 1 because of the delve hook that Argon is using.
hopefully there's a bathroom flap in this suit. Now I have a 7.
So what was the difficulty?
That's enough. You make it.
Okay.
You make it to the next
It
one.
brought down to 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
enough.
It's 4, 1 from me,
Right.
1 from the
Yep.
the bridge itself, and your filter suit.
How many
Yeah.
more times do I need to do it?
1 more to get across, and then
One more to get
up.
across.
6 is what I needed.
That's what you needed.
Right.
And,
And
now,
then
Yeah.
now it's climbing up.
I'll try and go up. 18.
There we go.
I'm like, nope, F off. That part I'm no. Right,
right.
yeah, good.
Your nope is really strong.
I need something stable. That's
All right, so who's going next? Is it
yeah.
I
Thank
Guardian or
you.
I
Alethea?
think I learned the first time. That's me.
Did you going next?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I guess it would.
Climb down.
Is there anything I can do to assist now that I'm over? Help.
And we're essentially
steady,
just
steady
leaving.
ropes.
We're setting up
Well,
our ropes to
yeah.
because we're gonna have to go back.
Isn't that Amex? though?
Yeah.
They can just dip in
You
there?
can reclaim it.
Okay.
We probably need to reclaim the rope just because we don't know if we're gonna need to do this again somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'll reclaim the rope on the way.
Yeah. But
Well,
is there
know
anything
what
I
I'm
can do to
rolling for.
help?
No.
Not from where you are.
Am I rolling just for climbing then?
Yeah,
8.
that's
All right,
enough.
there's one.
Yeah,
Oh, sick.
that's enough. You're an athlete, man.
There's the first
I
one.
will say
Also,
while
You gotta, yeah,
Between your filter skin and the other things,
Yeah.
I think our difficulties are 2 on these, so
Yeah.
it's 6.
I also
So,
have
let's make-
trained
let's-
in balancing as well, so I'm really good at going
Okay.
across these ropes.
yeah, definitely.
Oh.
So
So
that'll bring
Then
it
it's not
down to a
hard.
3 or better.
so let's get through these rolls. I want to
Yeah.
get through these
Yeah.
rolls before any more interruptions.
7.
All right.
Still
One
good?
more.
Pass.
Sick.
And now you're climbing back up.
well, but hang on, before anyone else comes up, specifically before anyone else comes up, I want to make sure there's not like anything horrible up here that everybody like
There
gets like,
isn't.
yay, die.
There isn't.
I mean,
Well, they
or
just
what? We have no alternative.
Yeah.
13.
Spend the rest
All
of
right.
the campaign on these
So you make it
pillars.
across.
All right.
Now we got.
Building an Ewok village.
It's true. Yep.
15?
No.
All right.
Chop chop.
9.
Chop,
All right.
chop.
Come on.
Do it.
9.
Ah.
All right.
Coward.
Appreciate you just Sith,
All right.
Sith motivated your
So you're
dice.
reclaiming the
I
rope.
was trying to
Yeah.
do the other.
Make a check for that.
Follow my dad.
It's a climbing check.
11.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
You're able to you're able to unattach the rope. Your wedge of your random piece of kit falls away, but you got the rope back.
Okay. And so I have to cross one and then climb up.
Yep.
Natural 20.
All right.
Vault. Hop. Hop.
Yeah.
Hip. Hoo. Hoo.
All right. So I'm going to say this. You while you're unfastening the rope, you're inspired by Nico's previous swinging, and you're like, I can do this in one step.
Mm.
And so you do that, and you swing from the center one over to the next one in one movement,
And bring the rope with me.
and bringing the rope with you. And then then you notice as you're at the whatchamacallit, at the apex of your swing, you see below, you've got your own light source on you. As the light swings down into your vision, you see some of the edge of the floor below, and you can see what look like almost like grave shapes, or like a sort of elliptical shape that are rising like bubbles
Like
from
tombstones?
the floor. No, like a sarcophagus, but with smooth edges rising like a blister, and they have blinking lights on them.
Something's coming. Something's coming. I'm
Yeah.
gonna climb up.
So you swung up and you climb up. I won't make you roll for that. You got it. You're there.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, all of you are on the other side now. Do you want to tell people what you saw?
Yeah.
Something's coming.
Something's coming up.
What?
Bubbles. Blinking bubbles.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Then
No.
that's the opposite of awesome. We should go. We should
Yeah.
just like keep
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
We got
okay.
the ropes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's go.
Yo.
Let's run.
Run,
so
run, run.
you see the ramp. You're running into the darkness, and your field of vision shifts a certain amount because as the light sources that are in your hands are mounted on your suits, and then you see down below on either side there are more of these. The ramp is starting to go down away from the core and
Oh,
get closer to the floor.
Towards the terrible things.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where's
Of
the
course.
So
terrible?
it's starting to dip down, and you get to a point where you're within 50 feet of the floor of the tunnel, and you can see these blisters rising, and then some of them they open like a bloom, and wriggling out of them are these quadruped cybernetic organisms. They're beasts, And they have
Beasties.
they have 4 limbs, and they have a tail that extends like a spine off of their back, and their faces look like ceramic masks that are split down the center both ways, like a cross. And then their faces, some of them open up, and there's like a singular glowing eye, and it looks a lot like the focusing crystal that's on the shield of tomorrow.
How?
But yeah, this it's almost like an eye, but it's like a pyramid shaped gem, and it pulses with like a hungry purple light. And you can see as they start to emerge from these cocoons, they're just running along, following alongside you, but below, like basically chasing you. And some of them turn their faces up, and they let out these howls that are they sound like almost like a human scream mixed with static.
How many?
Too many.
Yeah, you've seen as you've been running, and when the light got close enough to see them below, and from the sounds, you know there's got to be more than 10.
I think there's so many that it's going to take us 2 weeks to count them.
All right. So yeah, they're basically running alongside. Do you want to try to up your speed, or at this point they seem to be running parallel?
No maximum noping.
But the ramp.
But the ramp's coming down.
Yeah, it's gonna intersect.
It's descending slowly. Yeah, it's on. The ramp is going down and closer to
Well,
them.
by the same token, that'll give us more acceleration to try to get ahead of them.
Yeah.
Downhill.
Okay.
And you're fleet of foot.
Yeah.
You're
I'm fleet of foot.
So you guys can definitely nope it.
We're fleetings of footings.
I don't know how far we want to get stretched out though.
I
Yeah.
know how far I don't want us to get separated. Is it welcome to the one character who doesn't want to split the party?
So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
At this point, yeah, they're running alongside. You're like a train on an elevated bridge,
Yeah.
and then this herd of bison or tigers or whatever.
That you'd stop with the bisons.
Yeah, no bisons, please.
No, we've been through that.
No bad bison. So yeah, they're running alongside, and their weird staticky screams seem to almost be like they're calling to each other and behaving like a pack.
Do I see?
So, what's the distance that they're below us, and I guess length or width wise?
That's what I'm looking for.
You're running on
Doesn't
something
mean
that's
language.
about this far across. The bridge is about this wide, and at this point where you're running, you're probably within about 40. They're about 40 feet away from you if they're running alongside you below.
Okay, and then is that just?
Well, that goes off. It's
It's on two sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're on both sides.
Because we're on a bridge.
they're on
above
both sides.
them, essentially.
Okay, I'm just keep running
You gonna keep running? Okay.
as fast as I can.
All right. So who is in the front? People who are
Not me anymore, because
Okay.
they're faster
okay.
than so.
All
us
right,
three
so-
are move at regular people pace, and these two move at
All
glaive
right.
pace.
Gazelles.
Right.
Book it.
If you had ever seen a gazelle,
Glaive zells.
which you have not.
They're glaive zells.
Glaive zells,
yeah.
Glavesels.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you're running along this this biomechanical bridge, and these creatures are in pursuit, and the pack is surrounding you, and the road seems to get dangerously lower, and you're wondering, can these things jump?
Yeah, they can jump.
And you really worry about it, and then then thankfully you see the road starts to go back up again, more coreward, and up ahead you see a light on the road ahead, and it's a strange blue light, and you hear singing. And it sounds like a young girl singing.
We all hear
And
this?
you recognize it's one of Naxos' songs. One of Naxos' songs is being sung.
Let's go towards the light.
Make me an intellect check as well. I won't tell you the difficulty, but tell me what you roll.
Siren songs.
An 8.
Okay.
But I'm trained in all social things, and I have edge if that's relevant.
That's a good
You
one.
recognize the voice is Hana's voice. singing one of your songs
I just got goosebumps.
off in the distance.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
as you keep running, you see at that point where you're at the lowest point, some of these creatures have leapt onto the road or scrambled on. So then there are now a few on the road behind you.
Right behind us?
Good. Rear
keep
guard.
going then.
They're probably. They're within the reach of your light, so they're probably about 50 feet.
What was
If
the width
I'm-
of that bridge again?
2 arrest.
I'm throwing that friction, or the friction reducing gel.
Excellent.
Right behind us.
Behind us.
Yeah.
Very good use of the Cypher. Thank you.
I've been waiting to use that this whole.
That's a clutch play, man.
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah,
For 1
Alethea,
hour,
you
the difficulty of movement tasks in the area is increased by 3 steps.
just cast grease.
Yeah.
Basically.
If I'm close enough to hear
You
Hana,
see them scrambling,
Hell yeah.
but then they disappear into the darkness because you keep running.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm close enough to hear Hana singing, she's close enough to hear me. I just start yelling, Hana, we're here to
Not
help
Hana.
you. Hana.
It's not going to be Hana.
You see
That was totally not going to be Hana.
the light seems to be moving away.
Yeah.
And moving towards the road keeps going.
Yeah.
Alas, we don't know about
Yeah.
anglerfish.
Right. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's 100, and there's my natural 20 now. No, I'm 100%
Oh
is
yeah.
Hana.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm
So are you all
Yeah, but the
all
Guardian's
still
trying to
in
warn
hot
you.
pursuit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's simultaneously away from the dogs and towards the light. So our
Okay. So who? Are you in front now?
I'm
or
in
are
the
you-
middle. They're faster than me.
Yeah.
You're still
So
faster.
we're in front.
Okay.
We're taking.
So Nico, you're the one running in front, right?
How's my sense danger though?
There's a lot of danger.
We're being
I meant
chased.
as far as the front.
It doesn't. You're not picking up a sense of danger from this light.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna.
But I want you to make me a difficulty 4 speed defense check.
Okay, do I get any?
Do you have stuff that relates to
guys.
surprises or?
Speed defense itself.
defense.
I
Yeah.
no surprises.
Surprise.
No, just incredible focus.
Do you have speed defense?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
have-
Do-
So this is
Where,
difficult.
I mean, that would be under search special abilities.
Let's just say this is difficulty 4 then. So you need 12 or better.
And if
You gotta
I
roll
were to
before I tell
spend
you what
an effort,
happens.
if I were to spend an effort, it'd be from speed, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and spend an effort because I've got edge in that as well.
Excellent. Okay, so now it's a 3, so you need a 9 or better.
Okay, I can do this.
I believe in you.
I get a 17.
Excellent. Okay, so you're running, and you're very focused on catching this light, and it feels like you're playing Seeker's Bola, and you see the quarry, and you're like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna be just like my brother.
I thought it would be.
So you're running, and you're so focused on it that you don't necessarily notice until just at the last minute that the road seems to end in a cliff.
Oh God.
Windmill arms.
Yeah, exactly. You're skidding. And then you see when you look down, you see that it descends off into darkness.
Okay.
But there's a weird glow from the bottom. Now the bridge you were on can't have been more than maybe 50 to 70 feet raised from the floor.
I'm gonna climb down.
But hold on,
Okay.
this cliff that goes off, you can see it ignores the geometry of the ring itself. So and you can see a dim light. It seems like everything just fell off, going into maybe an extra dimensional space or whatever. But there's a cliff that is easily thousands of feet. A drop, and there's a dim glow at the bottom, and then you can see hovering. You got the light that was hovering. It stops over the middle of this chasm, and you can see it. It looks. You've seen depictions of it in Reborn texts. It looks like something called a flower, like a blue flower, and then it starts to descend down. But you've just skidded there at the edge of this, and now everybody's catching up to you. You all see that Nico is stopped.
I'm like, you fight. I'll figure this out. Fight dogs.
Are they still following us, the dogs?
Yes.
Well, we don't know what dogs are, but yes.
Oh.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm like, those
That
things.
was me asking.
Thank you, good catch.
Yeah.
I'm like, fight.
Yeah, you can hear their
Yeah.
staticky human sounding baying.
I'll figure this out.
Let's just
Do we-
climb down.
Do we get there?
Yes. And that's where we're going to end it.
Yep.
Sorry I pushed that a little longer. I know it's 3:15, but
Alright.
I wanted to get you to a good
that was-
cliffhanger.
Literally.
Thank you so much for everyone who watched. We are, as I said before, we're not on next Sunday or the Sunday after. We've got a 2-week break.
Yep.
Until we come back. But then we'll in October we'll have the last 2 episodes of RINGWEB.
Yeah.
And this Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Come watch
Tomorrow.
Shadowrun
Share the
on Saving Throw
run.
Show, 7 p.m.
Saving throw.
Me, Sam, Hawkwood, Ash, and Amy Vorpal
Yeah.
playing some Shadowrun.
Share
Los
the run.
Angeles 2075.
2075.
So
Check
thank
out-
you to Monty Cook Games.
Yes.
And
Yes.
thank you to QueueTimes.
Yes.
And I'm Different Elves, Alquin Gersh. You can find me at my own Twitch channel. I'm also on some other
Let me
things.
just not.
Does everybody give me your contact info?
Yeah, I'm Ash. You can find me on Instagram at astronaut44 and on Twitter at mooncladash, and then also with Uncommon Trust.
Yeah.
B. Dave Walters. I do things. I'm on a little game called Vampire LA by Night. And this Tuesday, Ask Your Black Geek Friend, 9 o'clock.
Oh, good to see that come back. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
It's true.
D'Artagnan.
I am D'Artagnan Mataliano. I am one half of Crystallize. You can find us all at Crystallize Music, at Crystallize Music for all the socials. And actually, if you like our music, we're releasing another song this Tuesday. So
Great stuff this Tuesday.
Yes.
Poisel.
I am Poisel. I am a Poisel on Twitter, a .Poisel on Instagram, and everywhere else at Poisel, Patreon, things like that.
You are the Poison.
Ah,
Yes.
the one and only.
But I have business cards that have a Poisel on them, so I haven't changed my Twitter handle yet.
And I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, like it says right there. ChaiKobsky. You can catch me on Fridays at Geek and Sundry from 4 to 7 p.m. for Callisto 6. And you can see me in like 2 hours on Saving Throw Show.
Yeah.
Presenting Fate. Yay!
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for watching. We love you. And we'll see you again soon.
Oh, and Uncommon Trust on Instagram and on Twitter and our Discord.
Yes.
I don't know if you put the link in the dibbly boop.
Yep.
That you
That's the
talk to
technical
us.
term.
Yeah, also to get
Yeah.
different
Come hang out.
It's the only way to keep track of all the stuff we're doing
All right.
is to be in the one place we're all at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, and super vague booking, but something incredible is going to happen next year. It's a long way off, but something amazing.
So
Stick
stick
with
with us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, folks.
Okay. All
We
right.
put it
Bye bye.
together.